crowd rolling behind him, it could really be a key. Real important for a great start tonight.
And a lot of alumni in town. It was homecoming weekend for the football team last week. It's alumni weekend for hockey this week. Nice to see some guys like Daryl Plandowski, Jeff Galicki, Eric Lamarck in town. Bunch of great guys coming back for Wildcat hockey this weekend. Wildcats started out with Dirk Southern at center. He will square off against Jim Slater as referee Dan Brown gets ready to drop the puck. He's assisted by Paul Tunison and Eric Froberg. We are underway at the Barrie Event Center. The Spartans with the puck back deep in their own zone. Cats will be going from left to right. They are dressed in white. Michigan State is in green. Bill Zanaboni plays the puck around behind his own goal. Slater there for the Spartans. It's brought out now by Santarelli. It goes off the skate of Contoy. Santarelli picks it up and fires it into the state zone. Down in the Michigan State corner, Santarelli after it. Puck loose, bouncing around Lalonde among the Spartans in there, along with number 4, Ethan Graham. Puck loose in front of the goal. There's a shot from the side. Southern gets a piece of it. Santarelli a backhand, but that was blocked by Graham, and the Spartans will turn the other way. Puck into the Wildcat zone. Both teams trying to complete line changes. Wildcats will turn it back the other way. Pass intercepted. Shot by Lalonde. Sticked away by Zanaboni. And what a quick start to this hockey game.
Yeah, great chance there by Santarelli. And that was allowed, just like the goal he scored last week at St. Cloud. He went to the backhand right there, and that was very close to the same goal he had when he put that move on the, I think it was our fourth goal, I believe, at St. Cloud. It was a fabulous goal. But
and the goalie and the defenseman are still looking for their very sensitive personal equipment.
Right. The only difference is he put a move that time. He just got the puck in the slot area, but he's got a very good backhand.
Puck behind the Wildcat goal. Over trying to work it out. It's knocked in front of the goal, but it's pushed away by Zanaboni. Puck into the corner. Brian Lurg after it for the Spartans. Now picking it up, number 12, Dave Booth. Puck still in the corner, smacked by Kevin Estrada of Michigan State. And, Dave, we have our first penalty of the night. It's going to be a cross-check.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on maybe Bobby Selden or Darren Oliver, I think.
And it is Darren Oliver going to the penalty box at 1:10 of the period.
You know, and Dave, special teams are going to play a major part of this game, and for anybody that's been watching college hockey or paying attention, it's just unbelievable. They're calling everything, and that's the way it's going to be. So power plays are going to be a huge part.
The Wildcat penalty kill has been successful on 17 of 18 opportunities in that St. Cloud series, 94.4%. Meanwhile, the Michigan State power play, 2 of 15 last weekend in their games against St. Lawrence and New Hampshire. Spartans will bring it out into center ice. The Wildcats have Southern, Maunu, Contoys, and the freshman Blake Cosgrove on the penalty kill. Puck on the left side of the NMU zone. Contoys tries to clear. State gets a piece of it. Cosgrove gets a piece of it. Southern whiffs, and the Spartans will control. Estrada at the left point. Feeds it across. Shot, one-timer, and it's knocked away by Zanaboni from Ash Goldie. Now the Wildcats will pick it up and clear. So the Spartans got a shot away, but it was from outside, and they gave Zanaboni a good look at it.
That's a shot you want to be able to, Billy's got to make that save, and, good job by him, not giving up any big rebound.
Puck comes around the Northern Michigan goal. After it for the Spartans was number 21, Lalonde. He feeds it in front, and a shot by Slater, and Slater he hit it off the hosel.
Yeah, Cats got a little break there. Slater didn't get all of it, and they got to really pay attention back door there, and really keep an eye on him.
Well, that play is not a stranger to those people that have watched Rick Comley hockey. You take a look at it for those of you on TV. Nice feed by Lalonde, and Oystrick wasn't able to quite get over, but Slater didn't get it all. Puck at the Northern Michigan blue line. A.J. Thielen feeds it to the right side. There's a drive by Lalonde. That one sticked away. Puck in behind the goal. For the Spartans, Colton Fretter working with it to Lalonde on the Spartan right side. Back up top. Working again to Lalonde. He comes up high. Feeds it down into the corner for number 19, Jim Slater. Slater the shot. Saves Zanaboni, and the Wildcats will clear. Big save by Billy. Great shot by Slater.
Yeah, Slater. And what they're going to do is try to feed Slater and Thielen. Thielen, that number 1 draft pick, a big guy who really can gun it.
3 shots on goal already for the Spartans, 2 of them on this power play, as A.J. Thielen smacks it into the Wildcat end. Zanaboni will pick it up. Tried to clear, but it was kept in by the oncoming Spartan, Peter Skinner. Now the Cats back the other way. Rob Layton in the shot, and that one's knocked away by Vicari, and he loses his helmet.
Wow, Robbie shot that right off the helmet of the goaltender. Really good play by Layton. He took that puck short-handed, used the defenseman as a screen, and got that shot off. I'm not sure if he saw it. Great play by Layton.
Good transition by the Wildcats, bringing it down into the Spartan zone. Layton with the big shot as you take a look at it on the TV. And boy, he got it. That got him right in the mask.
You always want to use that defenseman if you can as a screen.
Face off in the state zone. Layton in with Pat Murphy on for the Wildcats. Selden on the defense along with John Miller. Spartans will hold it behind their goal. Now they'll skate it out. 3 seconds left in the over penalty. Puck played behind the Northern Michigan goal. Zanaboni will fire it off the glass. Comes out into center ice. Here's Olber across the state blue line. He's got two wingers. Murphy the one-timer and a stick save by Macari. And that one goes up into the screen and we'll get a timeout. 16:38 to go in the period. No score between the Wildcats and the Michigan State Spartans. So up and down action. I don't know if they can keep this pace up all weekend long.
Nice 3-on-2 there. Nice job by Darren Oliver. He took that puck in wide, got it back to Murphy in the slot. Didn't get all of it, but good scoring chance for the Cats, and nice shot on goal.
Clayton Lanesbury, the freshman for the Wildcats out of Courtney, British Columbia, takes the draw. Puck pushed in behind the Michigan State goal. It's kicked back to the near side. Matt Mountain will pinch. He'll push it deep. State trying to push it back out. Kept in by Lanesbury. Puck around the Michigan State net. Chris Snavely back to pick it up. He feeds it for Ethan Graham. Graham will set up in behind the Michigan State goal. It's Lanesbury with Tim Hartung and Jamie Milan moving up to the forward line tonight. Puck played down in the Wildcat zone. Icing is waved off. Cosgrove, well, now it is called.
Cats with a lot of guys out of the lineup tonight. We talked about earlier. Patrick Bateman, Kevin Gardner, Ellen Swanson, and Zach Tarker. Tarker and Swanson with shoulder injuries, and hopefully they can get some of these guys back, but really makes it tough.
Well, especially when you consider Pat Bateman may have had his best week as a Wildcat last weekend in St. Cloud, a goal and an assist on Saturday night.
Yeah, Bateman was really good.
Puck in the Michigan State corner, firing it around the boards is Jared Nightingale, the youngster out of Sheboygan, Michigan. Nightingale, number 24, will feed it back to the near side. A.J. Thielen will pick it up. Thielen takes a bump from Siddall, and it comes out into center ice. David Booth across the Wildcat line, checked by Sauer and Selden. Bobby will pick it up. Out of Nagani, plays it out into center ice, a little too far for Matt Siddall. Matt had a goal last Saturday night. Spartans pick it up. They play it across ice, flip it out into center, looking to get a defensive line change completed. Back for the Wildcats, Jeff Waugh for Nathan Oystrick. Oystrick will bounce it up the boards. Battle going on, puck kicked back into the corner. In for State is David Booth. Booth and Oystrick will battle. Estrada gets in there for Michigan State. Now it'll come loose to Oystrick. Nathan will circle behind his own goal. 15:08 to go, first period. No score between the Wildcats and the Michigan State Spartans. And we get an icing call. We'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. No score. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 FM, WNGE.
Study to know all this. Isn't it time you started studying like Dave? The Rec Room. Say eh?
Welcome back to the Barry Event Center. Puck in the corner to the right of Wildcat goaltender Bill Zanaboni. Cats trying to pick it up. Spartans Lalonde with it. He's checked by Oystrick. Puck loose again. Wildcats fire it around to the other side. That's Contoys with it. Andy plays it ahead. Dirk Southern had a piece of it. Puck back into the Wildcat zone. Offside was initially called and waved off, and I was kind of baffled on that one, Dave.
Yeah, I thought it was offside, but
our opinions don't count, apparently. Southern plays it across. There's a shot by Contoys right into the chest of Dominic Vicari. Spartans bring it up the other side. That is Jim Slater. Slater, the Spartan captain. Now there's a shot. That one knocked off the stick of Lalonde. Blake Cosgrove with it for Northern Michigan to Santarelli. Santarelli with Contoys into center ice. Ash Goldie knocks the puck loose and dumps it deep into the Wildcat end. And that was just enough for icing as he had the skates across the center ice line.
Shots 4-2 in favor of Michigan State. Play back and forth both ways, and like we thought, the first one's going to be a big one for whatever team gets it.
Well, the thing is, if you're Northern, you want to get that goal and get this crowd into it. If you're Rick Comley and the Spartans, you want to take that crowd out. Bobby Selden with the puck in center ice for Northern Michigan. He dumps it in. Back to play it is Vicari for the Spartans. Daniel Vukovic for Michigan State. Now here's Pat Murphy. Murphy plays it off. Wildcats trying to work it around the Michigan State zone. Murphy again with a stick on it. Here comes Pat. Feeds it into the slot. There's a shot, and it's knocked down in front. And I'm not sure if it got through to the goalie or if it hit the defenseman, but it was Rob Lightnin pulling the trigger.
Nice play by Murphy to get that puck loose.
Here's Bobby Selden. He'll fire one. That one goes wide of the goal, around behind the net. Chasing after it for Michigan State is Jeff Dunn. Spartans will clear, and we've got a penalty coming up. Big hit over on the side of the ice, and a Spartan was down, and it's going to be another cross-check against the Wildcats. It was Skinner that took the hit.
I think it got Ciancio.
So it'll be the second power play of the night for the Spartans. They are 0 for 1. And it will be a city insurance penalty kill for the NMU Wildcats. 13:23 to go in the period. 6:37. The time of the call. Cross-checking against Matt Ciancio of the Wildcats. Face-off will come back into the northern end of the ice. It'll be Southern with Contoys, and Southern is waved out of the face-off circle. Waugh and Oystrick will be the defense. Colton Freder with the puck, number 7 for Michigan State. He plays it down low. Spartans cycle it up top. Freder the shot, and he beats Zanaboni to the stick side. Billy never saw it.
It's quick puck movement from one side to the other by State, and Freder with a nice shot on goal, and Billy just didn't get over there quick enough.
Third goal of the year for Colton Freder of the Michigan State Spartans as he just rips the one-timer.
Billy didn't see it.
And it's 1-0 in favor of Michigan State. Power play goal at 6:48. Cosgrove with the puck for Northern Michigan. He fires it in. It comes around the Michigan State net. Well, this another hit down low. Siddle with a bump. Puck pops up. Maunu couldn't hold it in. He'll fire it to the blue line. Siddall plays it in. Picked up. Wildcats with it. Here's a chance for Over. He shoots it. A stick save by Dominic Vicari. Nice work by Darren to get free and get the scoring opportunity. Puck comes back to the Northern Michigan end. In center ice, Sauer had a piece of it. Maunu. Now Sauer again. Andrew feeds it across the State blue line, but the Spartans there. Sauer knocked his man down. No call. Puck back into center ice. John Miller plays it into the State zone. Spartans send it back out. All the way down to the Wildcat end of the ice, and we'll get an icing call. 12:21 to go first period. Spartans lead it 1-0 on the goal by Colton Freder. The assist to Tommy Goebel and Peter Skinner. Dave, I don't think the Wildcats are in a position where they want to get into a run-and-gun game with Michigan
State. They definitely don't, and they got to learn to take. Oh my God, Darren Oliver. Did he go off the pipe? I think he beat the goaltender there. Might have went off the pipe, but replay showed he definitely.
The initial shot off the crossbar, and it may have gone in off of Estrada, so the goal should be credited to Milan.
I think Clayton Lanesbury got the rebound. I think Lanesbury might have got it.
We will wait for the official scoring. 7:44, the time of the Wildcat goal. That evens the score at 1, and boy, oh boy, you answer it right away 56 seconds later. That takes a little wind out of the State sails.
No doubt about it. Great job by the fourth line coming out.
I tell you what, when you can get those points, the third and fourth line, you're not counting on for points. You're counting on them to keep the other team off the board. But when they put numbers up, it's a big help. It will be Lanesbury, as Dave Mingay had said. Jamie Milam will draw the assist. Lanesbury's first goal as an NMU Wildcat. There's a shot, stick to side by Vickery. That one off the stick of Jeff Waugh. Puck thrown down the ice around the goal. Spartans with it. They'll play it out into center ice. In the neutral zone for Michigan State is Estrada. He'll fire it into the Wildcat end. State goes for the line change. Here's Matt Ciancio. Ciancio crosses center ice, dumps it cross corner. In after it is Pat Murphy for the Wildcats. Murphy and Leighton trying to free it up. Puck comes to the near side corner of the Michigan State zone. Dunn takes a bump, feeds the puck into center ice. Spartans, penalty coming up on Leighton. He got the stick on McKenzie. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, that goes quick. It's going to be a hook or an obstruction. Well, it wouldn't be obstruction because he had the puck, but he got the stick up under the arm.
Jeez, I'll tell you. I don't understand the calls, but that's where they're... Michigan State goes their third power play opportunity already. 9 minutes into the game.
Pat Murphy, the penalty for the Wildcats. Another city insurance penalty kill for Northern Michigan. This is another thing you don't want to get into. It is going to be called
and then Leighton,
a hook.
On Robbie Leighton. State already 1 for 2 on the power play. Cats got to stay out of the box.
There's absolutely no leeway for anyone in holding up an opposing player with or without the puck. The stick is the key part of that emphasis. Here's John Miller. He's bumped in the corner by Slater. Puck comes out in front of the goal. Wildcats trying to clear it. Spartans with it. That's Colton Fretter, the goal scorer. Fretter plays it for Lalonde. Lalonde tried to feed it down low, picked it back up. Up top for Colton Fretter. Fretter across, shot. That one knocked down in front. Spartans still with it. They come up top to Thielen. To the right side for Lalonde. Lalonde across to Fretter. Up top, drive by Thielen, and it's stick to side. Puck will be cleared, but not out. Thielen holds it in. Cats unable to clear it. Comes across to Lalonde. A broken stick down in the Wildcat zone. That belongs to John Miller. Spartans with the puck. There's a drive. That one wide to the glove side. Fretter with it now. Sheldon had a piece of it. Spartans trying to free it up. 42 left in the power play for Michigan State. Lalonde.
5-on-4 and Miller with no stick, so it's like a 5-on-3 out there, Dave.
I'll tell you what, we got to find a new stick supplier. There's a shot from the side of the goal. Rebound shot, Lalonde, and 2 big saves by Billy Zanaboni.
Wow, great saves by Zanaboni. A rebound came out to him, and a beautiful save on the second one. Fresh troops out there for the Cats.
1-1 our score. Colton Fretter, the goal for Michigan State. Clayton Lanesbury for the Wildcats. You see the wax at the side of the goal by the All-American Jim Slater of the Michigan State Spartans. Slater, a draft pick of the Atlanta Thrashers. Here's Graham for the Spartans. 25 left in the power play. Murphy and over on the kill for the Wildcats with Oystrick and Waugh. And the Wildcats will clear after the save by Zanaboni. So I tell you, one thing I've been impressed with so far in this season by Zanaboni is when he gets scored upon, he doesn't get down. 5 seconds later, it's all over with, and we're back to starting at ground zero. Wildcats clear, and that was a dangerous spot because the goaltender was out of the net. Cats now back at full strength. Leighton chasing after it. Chris Snavely for the Spartans plays it. Sent out into center ice. Booth plays it across. Graham will dump it into the Wildcat corners. The Spartans get their line change completed. Milam comes up across the Northern Michigan blue line. Jamie crosses center ice, fires it into the corner, and the Cats will get their change completed as Sauer replaces Leighton. Nice bump down in the corner. Wildcats with the puck. They dump it in deep. Cats touch up, get back on side, get that change completed. Darren over onto the ice. Spartans will work it out into the neutral zone. Spartans will drive it in. That was Jim McKenzie. Puck around to the near side. Cats can't clear it. It'll be in the near side corner of the Northern Michigan zone. Cosgrove trying to free it up for Northern Michigan. McKenzie for the Spartans. Now it's Skinner. Skinner plays it in deep for McKenzie. Miller in there for Michigan State. And we get a whistle with players down on top of the puck. We'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 WMGE.
Think you don't have time for a mammogram? Try working breast cancer into your schedule.
your part. After all, their response depends on yours.
They're turning tail.
A public service message from ESGR and the Ad Council.
Buck around the corner in the Wildcat zone, up to the blue line. Thielen throws it back in deep for Michigan State. Wildcats now work it out. Matt Siddall plays it for Sauer. Sauer the shot and a save by Vicari, that is. Buck behind the state goal now. Cats trying to work it. Spartans with it. It'll be played up across the blue line into the neutral zone. McKenzie will dump it down in the corner. Spartans on the line change. Wildcats bring it out. Into center ice it comes. Getting a stick on it was Matt Siddall. Sauer with it now. He'll flip it into the state zone, and that may be enough for an icing call, and it will be. With 7:26 to go first period, our score, the Wildcats won and the Spartans won. Dave, it doesn't get much more even. 1 goal apiece, 6 shots apiece. But the Wildcats have had to kill 3 penalties, so you're very fortunate to be 1-1 at this point.
Yeah, Michigan State 1 for 3, and Cats have to go on the power play. So Northern's got to stay out of the penalty box and try to figure out how these referees are going to call it. And just can't continue to go in the box against a talented team like this.
Oystrick will push it around the Northern Michigan goal. The Cats have Southern with Santarelli and Contois on the forward line. Puck pushed into the Michigan State zone, and another stick goes down. That belonged to Andy Contois. Tell you what, Andy had himself a good weekend at St. Cloud.
Yeah, Andy played well. He played hard, and Andy's a very good skater. Andy's key is winning some one-on-one battles, and when he starts winning those battles like he did at St. Cloud, it'll be tough to come out of the lineup.
The defensive pairing for the Wildcats, Matt Mountain and Blake Cosgrove. Face off just inside the Michigan State zone. Puck pushed to the boards. Spartans will knock it into the neutral zone. Southern with it for Northern Michigan. He'll cross center ice and work through the blue line, and an offside as he made one move too many crossing the stripe. .7:01 to go first period. 1-1 our score. Clayton Lanesbury, his first goal as a Wildcat, tied it after the Colton Frutter power play goal for Michigan State. That will be Lanesbury at center for the Wildcats with Milam and Mountain, Hartung, and Cosgrove. One of the situations where the Wildcats move Cosgrove up to the wing and play Hartung back on
Just
the face-off and then switch.
That's a face-off play the Cats do, yeah.
And actually, it's a play that's become fairly prevalent. So if you win the draw, you've got the forward picking it up instead of the D-man. And you got a head of steam. Puck in the neutral zone. Wall with it for the Wildcats. Jeff plays it in. Off the glove of Dunn. In the corner, kicked up the wall. Spartans trying to bring it into center ice. Leighton got a piece of it. Pat Murphy will pick it up now. Here comes Pat into the state zone. He'll play it into the corner. Spartans will knock it around the wall. Oystrick will chip it back in. Spartans chip it right back out. 6:09 to go in the period. 1-1 our score. We'll have an icing call against Michigan State.
A lot of play now. The last couple of minutes have been at neutral ice. Neither team's really had any offensive pressure, but very good first period for the Cats. Especially with Michigan State scoring the first one. Cats doing a good job of coming back and getting right back in the game, scoring, 56 seconds later. It's great to see that line of Hartung, Milam, and Lanesbury really our fourth line tonight.
Leighton feeds it back up to Oystrick. His drive high and wide of the goal. Puck comes to the near boards. Wildcats Matt Ciancio trying to work it free down in deep. Ciancio bumped by Nightingale. Puck comes loose in front of the net. Spartans will bring it out. Mike Lalonde up the left side into Wildcat territory. He's got Slater with him. Feeds it across for Goebel, but it was knocked away by the Wildcat defense. Nice work by Jeff Waugh.
Jeff Waugh. Good play coming back by Waugh.
What a solid positional defenseman Jeff Waugh is. Matt Ciancio will work the puck around the state zone. Ciancio banks it to himself off the boards. Tried to play it out in front for over, just missed connections. Wildcats will hold it in. Spartans, Nightingale will play it ahead. Wildcats work back with it now. Siddall into the zone with over. Siddall looking for Darren. He gets bumped. Puck comes around the goal to Ethan Graham. Spartans back across center ice now. Ash Goldie, poke check by Bobby Sheldon. And then Goldie gets doubled by Selden and over. Here's Skinner into the Wildcat zone. His shot was blocked by the defense. Wildcats trying to clear. McKenzie got a stick on it for Michigan State. Cats throw it back into center ice. Spartans waiting to get everybody back on side. They do. Puck comes to Bobby Selden. Bobby feeds it around for Miller. Miller had it knocked away by Dave Booth. Booth working on the far boards. Sauer had a piece of it. Ulver got a bump. Puck in the corner now. Battle going on. John Miller trying to free it up for Northern Michigan. For the Spartans, Dave Booth works around, tried the one-hander. Wildcats have another player without a stick. And we're going to get another penalty call. It's going to be a hold. Holding the stick.
Another Cat penalty.
15:43 will be the time of the call. And
No, it's on David Booth. It's on Michigan State. So for sure it was on Northern. So Cats are going to go on their first power play opportunity tonight. Last Saturday, that was the key. What were we, 3 for 6 against St. Cloud?
3 for 6 on Saturday night, 4 for 13 overall, 30.8% for the Wildcats. The Michigan State penalty kill has been successful 11 of 14 times, 78.6%. Booth the penalty, holding the stick at 15:43. The Wildcat power play has Siddall with Santarelli and Darren Ulver, Dirk Southern. Or check that, not Ulver, but Rob Layton and Dirk Southern and Nathan Oystrick. That is Oystrick. He pushes it to Santarelli, chips it up the wall, but the Spartans will throw it back out. 1:35 left in this City Insurance power play for the Wildcats. Nathan Oystrick will pick it up and circle behind his own goal. Feed it into center ice. Southern got a stick on it. Off the glass into the Spartan zone. Spartans pick it up again and clear. Very efficient PK for the Spartans in the first 40 seconds. Rob Layton now for the Wildcats as they get Sauer and Contoys onto the ice. Here comes Rob across the blue line into state territory. The shot right into the belly of Vicari, and the whistle comes. Wildcat Power Play is brought to you by City Insurance Agency of Marquette and Gwinn, where you are the #1 priority when it comes to your insurance.
New power play group out there. We got Contoys, Murphy, and Sauer with Milam and Cosgrove.
I'll tell you, what a gutty performance by Pat Murphy last Saturday night. And again, one of the more effective banging forwards for Northern Michigan. Wildcats with it. Cosgrove feeds it into Contoys. Andy and Sauer split. Cosgrove back up top. On the left side, Contoys underneath to Sauer. Sauer looking up top. There's a shot by Milam. That one goes off of the lawn. Milam gets it back. Fakes the shot, moved it around the lawn, down into the corner for Pat Murphy. Murphy loses it. It comes up the boards for Sauer. Sauer up top, drive by Milam, and it's tipped in front, and the save made by Vicari. Cats control, Contoys. Andrew up top. There's a shot. That one's blocked off of Cosgrove by Slater. 25 left in the power play. Here's Sauer on the right side of the state zone. He'll pull back up top. Milam a drive right into the Cat defenseman, or the Spartan defenseman Miller, and the Spartans will clear again. 15 left in the power play for Northern Michigan. Cats will get one more rush up the ice before Booth returns from the penalty box for Michigan State. Cosgrove to the right side for Dirk Southern. Dirk up across the Michigan State blue line. Poke checked by Miller. Puck down into the corner. Southern feeds it around. Spartans back at full strength. Miller couldn't hold it in for Northern Michigan. He chips it. It comes to Hartung. Puck bouncing around. Cats trying to control. It'll come back into the Northern Michigan zone. We'll have an offside call. We'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. 2:05 to go first period. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 FM, WNGE. Bringing it your way here on Oldies 99.5 WNGE. Here for the party at the Berry Event Center. Puck around the Northern Michigan goal. Booth in for the Spartans. Selden for the Wildcats. Booth working it on the far side corner. Feeds it for Estrada. He's thumped by Dirk Southern. Puck bouncing through the corner. Estrada tries to sidestep Southern, gets a pick, and we've got a whistle. Booth crumbles in the corner. I was following the puck. I didn't really see what happened to Booth, but he looks like he's in a great deal of pain.
Yeah, that just looked like a good clean hit by Bobby Selden.
I'll tell you what, Bobby Selden.
Tough.
Wow.
That's all you can say. I'm telling you, he's playing with a little injury right now, and he is one. Bobby's a tough kid.
Well, the Wildcats have 4 players out of the lineup with injuries, but then you look at Bobby Selden is not 100%. Pat Murphy's not 100%. They're looking for a possible checking from behind call, and they may have a point there. Just taking a look at it on the TV replay. Walt is talking to the referee, Brown. And I'm not certain if the arm never went up. The referee did consult with the linesman. Slater talking to the ref, looking for the call. Let's take a look at it right here. He got him in the back and slammed him into the glass.
Yeah, that could have been a penalty there. And he got him.
You know what?
He got a 5.
Hartung's going into the box, so that is going to be a major penalty against the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. You got to be careful. That is something that's really been emphasized over the past couple of years, is the checks from behind and the boarding. And I think the worst that Booth got of it was the face wash in the glass.
Yeah, I think it very well could be a 5 on the catch.
Well, now there's a discussion going on down at the end of the rink. And while there is, I want to invite you to join us for Wildcat Volleyball. Tomorrow the Cats take on Saginaw Valley, 4 p.m. at Vandeman Arena. And then on Sunday at 1 p.m., they take on Northwood Institute. And that game will air live right here on Oldies 99.5 WNGE. Little ice repair going on. Make sure to join Walt Kyle on Tuesday night. The Walt Kyle Show, 6:30 p.m. That will be followed by the Tuesday Night Sports Show. And my guest this Tuesday will be Wildcat Volleyball coach Jim Moore as he gets ready for the stretch run, hoping to get some players back from injury. Jenny Little's back in practice, so hopefully Jenny will be ready by tournament time and in good shape. Nope. Jim sitting down just below us tonight with his wife, Stacy Metro.
Must only call it 2 because Rick called him over the bench. So it must be a 2 on the Cats. Let's hope.
Well, nothing has gone up by the board yet, so Rick and Walt playing the part of lobbyists. And Rick apparently doesn't agree, so with what the referee has to say. They got to shovel out some blood on the ice. He got himself a bloody nose, or you know,
bloody forehead.
Because when you hit those posts between the glass, that's got to be what happened. The forehead bleeds and it doesn't stop quickly. So some ice repair work going on. Apparently all has been decided, so the only...
There might not be a penalty. I don't know why...
Well, Hartung's sitting in the penalty box.
They have not put nothing up on the clock yet, so I don't know.
The referees still discussing. And the penalty box attendant speaks with the lining, Eric Froberg. Well, the Wildcats are short-handed. Only 4 players on the ice. 18:15 will be the time of the call, and now the referee comes over to give his full assessment of the situation. The Spartans have 5 on the... It's a deuce on Hartung.
I thought it was a hit on Selden, but I guess it was Hartung's hit.
4th penalty on the Wildcats. 4th power play for Michigan State. They are 1 for 3. Huge penalty kill here for Northern Michigan.
Really, at the end of the period?
There's 2 times you don't want to allow goals, the first 2 minutes and the last 2 minutes of a period. You don't want the other team to get momentum coming out or going in. Puck in center ice. Cats clear it back in. Cats have Oystrick and Jeff Waugh on the defense with Dirk Southern and Rob Waitman. Cats playing a diamond. Spartans will bring it across center ice. It'll be driven in by Goebel. Around the goal it goes. Oystrick puts the bump on Slater. Puck comes up top to Thielen. Thielen at the blue line. Right side for Lalonde. He goes down low for Slater. It goes off of his stick off the back glass. Lalonde will pick it up in the near side corner. 1:01 to go in the period. 1:16 left in the penalty as Oystrick flips the puck high into the Michigan State zone. Good hang time on that one.
Nice play by Oystrick, stealing that puck in the corner, and guy tried to put a 1-on-1 move on him, Milan, and a great play by Oystrick.
49 left in the period. Puck in the Wildcats zone and an offside call against Michigan State, and that will come all the way back. Intentional offside. So the face-off will be to the right of the, will be left of the goaltender. Dave Minguez headed downstairs. Face-off will be in the Spartan zone. Pat Murphy will take the draw for Northern Michigan. 42 left in the power play for the Spartan, or left in the period, 55 left in the power play. Puck comes around. Ash Goldie will throw it in. Bobby Selden pokes the puck around the boards. Selden trying to get a piece of it. It comes out to the blue line. Oh, and we've got another penalty call coming up. They're calling them often. 19:40 will be the time of this call. Hartung's penalty, by the way, was elbowing. This call will be a slash, and it will go against the Spartans. And that will be number 27, Drew Miller. So that ends the power play for Michigan State. They are 1 for 4. Teams will play 4 aside for the remainder of the period. Southern takes the draw for Northern Michigan. 18 left in the period. Oystrick dumps it in the state zone. Here's Contois. Backhands it toward the goal. Vicari, the stick save. Oystrick the shot. That one dribbled toward the net. Southern got a piece of it. 8 seconds left. Dirk Southern up top to Waugh. Waugh feeds it in front of the goal. Contois had a piece of it. Here's Oystrick. He feeds to the side of the net, and that will be the end of period number 1. So after 1 our score, the Wildcats won and the Michigan State Spartans won. Dave Minguez headed downstairs. Wildcats fell behind on the goal by Colton Fretter on the power play at the 6:48 mark, but they answered just 56 seconds later as Clayton Lanesbury scored on an assist from Jamie Milan. Lanesbury in to bang the rebound by Dominic Vicari. We're going to take a commercial timeout of 2 minutes and come back with between-period activity. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 FM, WNGE.
Whoa! No, it's the incentives that are bigger than ever. 0% for 72 months. That's September 28th, 29th, and 30th. The deals are going to be huge. Choose any new 2004 Pontiac, GMC, or Buick. And if we don't have it, we'll find it. And get 0% for 72 months, the longest term ever. Now that's huge! Nobody will serve the public better on September 28th to the 30th than Public Service Garage.
Think you don't have time for a mammogram? Try working breast cancer into your schedule.
We treat you good. We treat you right.
Hi, Mitch here. Today you make the choice, black gold or sirloin. Combine it with grilled shrimp or fried shrimp or chicken Monterey, all for only $10.99. Add a fresh baked potato and all the soup, salads, breads, and Baker's Nook desserts you can eat.
Don't forget your root beer float.
Only at Bonanza.
Bonanza Steakhouse, the family restaurant that respects you.
Discovery Channel's Monster Garage and Charter Racing present the Monster Garage Go-Kart Giveaway.
It was a lot of fun having a local individual win the go-kart promoted by Charter Media. The lady that won the go-kart was extremely excited, and she had a good time running around the Lynn Auto Parts parking lot testing out that race car. I personally noticed how much fun it was doing a TV commercial, which I've never done before, and it looks like we're going to do a lot more of them. I would certainly recommend other businesses using Charter Media for their advertisement.
Center ice, Eric Lamarck comes onto the ice, the former Wildcat who suffered through an 8-day ordeal following a snowboarding accident where he was lost in the woods for a week, survived on pine needles and pine nuts.
Incredible.
Unbelievable
story.
Well, I tell you, I got a chance to talk to Eric for a while this afternoon, and we'll have part of that interview in tonight's second intermission and the other part tomorrow night. But here's a guy who has been through hell, and he's got a smile on his face. He's happy to be here, and he feels he's the most fortunate man in the world. Really an inspiring story. They will be passing donation buckets around the arena tonight, taking donations to help Eric with his medical expenses and such. But a very, very truly inspiring story. And I tell you what, Eric, very, a pleasure to meet the guy and talk to him this afternoon.
Great guy.
A lot of great Wildcat alums back in town for the weekend. Another one we got to talk to today, we'll interview for tomorrow night's game or for a future game. Daryl Plandowski, the guy that scored undeniably the biggest goal in Wildcat hockey history.
Yep.
We're going to take a commercial timeout. When we come back, a look at tonight's game from the other side with former Wildcat and current Michigan State Spartan coach Rick Comley. It's the Cats won and the Spartans won. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 FM, WNGE.
As a Northern Michigan University student, you'll have a world of choices. At Northern Michigan University, there are over 180 quality academic programs to choose from. And each student will receive a ThinkPad for coursework, research, and staying in touch with the professors. Also, Northern is located on the shores of Lake Superior in Marquette, Michigan. Now that's one large playground. It's all here at Northern, naturally.
The great Italian masterpieces, the Mona Lisa, the Sistine Chapel, and when it comes to Italian food in Marquette, the Casa Calabria. Here you'll find all the classic Italian pasta dishes, as well as steaks and homemade pizza. And in the Italian tradition, every Casa Calabria entree includes their famous garlic bread, so you'll never leave hungry. Marquette's classic Italian masterpiece.
It's just your style, Casa Calabria.
Want to look stupid. Like, don't order French fries when you're in France. Don't do it. And don't ask for Swiss cheese in Switzerland.
Hello and welcome to Northern Notebook, the show for and about Northern Michigan University. I'm your host, Dwight Brady, an associate professor in the Department of Communication and Performance Studies.
And I'm Sonia Chrisman, a producer with Public TV 13. Even though he came in facing a lean economic year here in Michigan, Dr. Leslie Wong still managed to provide students, faculty, and staff with opening remarks at the beginning of the semester.
That's right. On August 25th, Dr. Wong gave his first convocation to the NMU community, and Northern Notebook's cameras were there and caught up with Northern's president to expand on his first semester with NMU.
What will be NMU's brand when it comes to undergraduate research? Graduate research, and I say this very gently, doctoral programs. We have the talent, we have the programs, we have the need and the interest. It would be a terrific complement to all of what we do, to offer a doctorate or two or three, and it wouldn't compete, it wouldn't hurt other people's graduate programs in any way, and yet it would be a way to serve the public. How can we resolve the conundrum of high class enrollment, that is, faculty and staff workload, and unleash sufficient time to focus on quality and innovation? A critical question for great universities. I have some questions I'm putting on the table about literacy and are our students reading enough? Is the computer helping or hindering that? How do we know those things? And so usually in today's world, you always think of computers as distance ed. Well, you and I might be faculty member and student, but there might very well be a lot of technology operating between us that will make my relationship with you as a learner far more productive. In the last capital campaign, an alum, Dr. John Beaumere, pledged over $1 million to NMU. In late July, we have received full payment on that pledge. The dream is to develop a heritage center honoring UP cultures and traditions. The idea of having a heritage center at NMU is perfect. I mean, you couldn't ask for an idea that not only fits what we do, but fits the needs and the cultural activity and excitement that's occurring here in Marquette. And so a celebration of Native people, Finns, Italians, whatever your ancestry might be, all of us have contributed to the vitality of the Upper Peninsula. And NMU's in a great location to house a heritage center. And so we're putting some form to it. We hope to use it not only as a collection of archive materials, but we've been talking about some research capabilities, the ability of students to do internships there. We floated the idea to corporate partners to see if they want to join in on that project, and it has been well received. Let me close by saying I take the notion of servant leadership very seriously. I look forward to working with you and for you. Inshallah. I've spent a good deal of the last year and a half reading what I could and can about the Middle East. And really, that's misleading. Really about the rise of Islam throughout the world, even in the United States. And so I came across the phrase inshallah, which means, in Arabic, it means God willing. And I've offered the campus just a glimpse of the future and the horizon. And I've invited people to begin a discussion that will get us to that spot. The phrase inshallah, God willing, means much deeper than the phrase. It's often a term reserved for very special, meaningful events when you've asked people to engage big ideas. And we're not going to lose sight that, God willing, through our good efforts, we're going to, in His inspiration, we'll get there.
How is the process of making it a Rick Conley team coming?
Well, you know, I think the adjustment's coming okay, and everything takes.
Italian pasta dishes, as well as steaks and homemade pizza. And in the Italian tradition, every Casa Calabria entree includes their famous garlic bread, so you'll never leave hungry. Marquette's classic Italian masterpiece.
It's just your style, Casa Calabria.
By Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Wildcats and Spartans tied at 1. Dave Gaddis and Dave Mingay, glad to be bringing it your way here on Oldies 99.5 WNGE, Negaunee Marquette. Second period underway. The Wildcats will play it into the Michigan State zone. Teams playing 4 aside for the next 10 seconds. Then it'll be the Wildcats' second power play of the night. Puck on the near boards. Oystrick sends it goalward. It's knocked away by Phelan. Cats now on the power play. They are 0 for 1 with the man advantage tonight. Oystrick will take it back behind his own goal. 1:15 of power play time left for the Wildcats. Oystrick, right side. Cats bring it across center ice. Dirk Southern into the state zone. He'll feed it behind the goal for Santarelli. Santarelli kicks it up the boards on the near side for Oystrick. Nathan feeds it for Santarelli. Mike down for Southern. He feeds it across. It's sticked away by Vicari and will come out of the zone. Well, I tell you, that kill for the Cats at the end of the period and then ending up in the 4-on-4 was a key for Northern Michigan. They come out with a nice bit of life here in the second. 43 left in the City Insurance power play. Santarelli for Dirk Southern to Santarelli at the side of the goal. Wrap around, and it's sticked away by Vicari, and the Spartans will clear. All the way down the ice it goes. 30 left in the power play for Northern Michigan. Oystrick will set it up behind the Wildcat goal. He's got Lanesbury on his right side. That's Clayton. Has it pushed off of his stick. Oystrick will chase it back. He'll fire it off the near boards for Rob Leighton. Rob ahead for Ciancio. Puck down into the state corner and an icing call. And Dave, nice start to the period for the Wildcats. Good action up and down the ice.
Well, they had a chance in the power play. They had Robbie Leighton, and they tried to go backdoor. He cheated in from his defensive point, and he would have had to go to the backhand and just didn't get control of the puck. Kind of jumped over his stick.
Faceoff will be down in the Michigan State zone. Or pardon me, in the Wildcat zone. Cats with the puck, 7 left in the power play. Want to get across center ice before the man comes out of the box. Puck down into the state corner. Lanesbury and Murphy working after it. Spartans now at full strength. Cats with the puck. There's a chance to the side of the goal. Spartans kick it out. Miller will dish it off for Fretter. Colton Fretter works it to the Wildcat end of the ice. He gets around a defenseman. And a penalty coming up on Bobby Sheldon of the Wildcats. And Bobby getting up slowly. Going to be a tripping call. So the Wildcats now 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Bobby Sheldon goes for tripping at 1:55 of period number 2.
I think it's Bobby Sheldon. I think it might be...
or check that, Ciancio.
Matt Ciancio.
So Ciancio goes for trip. 5th Wildcat penalty of the night. A Wildcat City Insurance penalty kill brought to you by City Insurance of Marquette and Gwin. Reduce all of your insurance costs by calling City Insurance today. Puck in center ice for the Spartans. Phelan will play it in. Around the boards it goes. Goebel goes after it. Here come the Wildcats. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Contois in Southern. Contois shoots. He scores! 2:16, the time of the goal. Contoys and Southern come in 2-on-1. Nice play by Andy. The defenseman played it right. He took the pass away, gave the goalie the shooter, but Contoys was too much for Vicari.
Great play by Contoys. He really picked the corner there. Great shot, a great play by Andy. Wow, great short-handed goal for the Cats.
So it's now 2-1 Wildcats as Contoys scores short-handed at 2:16 of the period number 2. And I'll tell you what, there's no greater momentum gainer or changer than a shorty. Second goal of the year for Contoys. Still 1:22 to go in the power play for Michigan State as Ash Goldie dances in. The goal was unassisted for Contoys, his second of the year, 2-1 Northern Michigan. Puck in the Wildcat corner to the right. That's the stick side of Bill Zanaboni. Puck played off the wall all the way down the rink. Dunn back for Michigan State. Plays it to Ash Goldie in center ice. Goldie dishes it off. Spartans dump it around the board. Zanaboni out to play it. Ash Goldie intercepts, but getting there to knock it away was Dirk Southern. Southern will play it across for Contoys. 35 left in the penalty against the Wildcats. Wildcats fire it all the way down.
Where the puck went, must have went up in the crowd.
It ended up somewhere. Kind of difficult to see where it ended up. 16:33 to go, second period. Cats lead at 2-1. Andy Contoys with the short-handed goal here in period number 2.
State on the fifth power play opportunity, 28 seconds to go. Real important the Cats kill this.
Puck in the Wildcat corner. Comes around. Cats will pick it up. Contoys will bang it out into center ice. A.J. Thielen for Colton Fretter. Fretter across the Wildcat blue line. He'll dish it back for Nightingale. Wildcats, Selden smacks it down the rink, and that will kill the penalty. So the Wildcat penalty kill is even tonight. They've allowed a goal and scored a goal. Here comes Pat Murphy. He tips it into the Michigan State corner. Murphy trying to work it out for Matt Ciancio. Matt in the near corner. He circles out. Takes the shot. Stick save by Vicari. Murphy for Leighton. Rob feeds it out, but it was off of a skate, and the Spartans will break back the other way. That'll be Mike Lalonde into the Wildcat zone. His shot went between the legs of Cosgrove, and Zanaboni was able to make the stop. Dunn up top for Michigan State. His pass blocked by Cosgrove. Ciancio knocks Dunn over and possibly could have gotten a penalty, but the Wildcats dodge a bullet. Now they try to clear. Here's Leighton. Possible 3-on-2 for the Wildcats. Leighton and Murphy across the line. Manu trailing. There's the shot, and the save made by the goaltender. The Wildcats will get a power play. Cosgrove plays it in deep for Murphy. Murphy to Leighton. Cats have the goal empty. Extra attacker out. The Spartans touch it up, and the penalty will come.
Cats will go on their third power play opportunity tonight. 0 for 2 so far. Actually, no, 1 for 2.
Nope, 0 for 2. You had it.
That's right, 0 for 2.
First time you've been wrong all year. Thought you'd made a mistake.
Yeah. So hard to keep track of all these penalties. It's sheet gets pretty full.
Vukovic, the penalty for Michigan State. Obstruction, hooking, the penalty on Vukovic. That brings us a City Insurance power play for the Wildcats. Brought to you by City Insurance of Marquette and Gwinn for life, health, home, auto, or business insurance. See City Insurance today. The Cats with Ulver, Santarelli, Leighton, Southern, and Oystrick on the power play. Their third of the night, as Dave mentioned. Puck loose, Spartans clear. 1:24 left in the power play for Northern Michigan. Here's Oystrick. Nathan will push it in. Cats getting a line change as they get Siddall, Contoys, and Sauer. Tell you what, a lot of these young guys are seeing a lot of special teams time, and they've acquitted themselves quite well. Here's Contoys in. Andy working around the goal, forced wide by Thielen. Puck comes to Sauer. He goes up top to Blake Cosgrove. Cosgrove, right side. There's the shot by Milam, and the save made by Vicari. But we see 1, 2, 3 freshmen out on the power play for the Wildcats, and they're doing a nice job.
Yeah, good job there again by Andy Contois. Andy's the one that took that puck in the zone and gave it to Sauer back to the point, and good shot on goal, hoping for the rebound, but nothing there. Good setup by the Cats.
Contois will take the draw. 51 left in the power play for Northern Michigan. Sauer working with it in the far corner. He's being watched by Miller. Sauer works out, takes the shot, rebound, loose side of the goal. Vicari the save, and he'll cover up the rebound in a little tussle between Nightingale and Contois. Well, there was initially between Nightingale and Siddall. I'll tell you what, Matt Siddall does not shy away from contact.
No, Matt Siddall's not going to, he's a tough kid. He threw a hit last week, and it was just unbelievable. And after the coaches saw it on tape this week, they said it was just phenomenal. We kind of laughed. It was it was one of the hardest hits I've witnessed in college hockey.
Well, when you see the player who got hit, when you see the guys on his bench wincing, he hit him so hard he hurt a guy that was sitting 100 feet away. Wildcats 35 left in the power play. Milam up top. His drive blocked in front and cleared by the Spartans. Wheeler had the block for Michigan State. Wildcats bring it back in, though. Cosgrove to the right side for Sauer. Sauer waiting for traffic to clear for Cosgrove. Cosgrove the shot. That one's blocked, and the Spartans will bring it back. Here comes Slater into the Northern Michigan zone. Slater had it knocked away. Lanesbury will pick it up. He'll dish for Milam. Jamie goes right side. Puck into the state zone. Graham picks it up. Throws it back into center ice. It comes to Hartung. Hartung across the blue line. Spartans back at full strength. Hartung leaves it for Siddall. Siddall looking around, trying to find some room through traffic. It comes to Hartung. Hartung turns. He shoots. Puck loose. Whacked in front, and the save and cover by Vicari. The Wildcats, Dave, it started out as a Michigan State got the good start in the game, but the Wildcats have very slowly turned the tide tonight.
Yeah, good job there by Hartung, Siddall, and Lanesbury, and our freshman line. Hartung not got that shot. Lanesbury got control of it in front of the net. Just couldn't get the puck loose from the defenseman, the goaltender. Otherwise, we had a great scoring chance. I really like Lanesbury. He's really working hard.
12:53 to go in the period. Lanesbury will take the draw between Hartung and Ciancio, with Miller and Maunu on the defense. Maunu pushes it. Ciancio working at it behind the net. Thielen will push it up the near sidewall for Estrada. Estrada to Lurg. Lurg into the Wildcat zone. Checked by Miller. Forced wide of the net. Puck comes around and will be covered by Zanaboni. We'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. 12:33 to go second period. It's 2-1 Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 FM, WNGE, Negaunee, Marquette.
You don't have time for a mammogram? Try working breast cancer into your schedule.
And the Ad Council.
Penalty against the Michigan State Spartans. It will be a slashing call, and that will be assessed against number 12, David Booth's second trip to the sin bin of the night for for Booth, and it gives the Wildcats a great opportunity.
Playing a little angry right now. He's the one that took the shot, and the blood on the ice probably went in and got stitched up. He's back out there for State.
Face-off will be at the Northern Michigan blue line. Cats on the power play will have Contois, who has really taken his game to another level this season so far. Well, now we get a penalty call right off the face-off. It will be matching minors to Siddall. Siddall and Thielen. And those will also be assessed at 7:27, so those being coincidentals, it won't affect the manpower. It'll be the 5th penalty against State, the 6th against the Wildcats. Shot on, Zanaboni makes the stop.
Wow, what a save there by Zanaboni. Miller came down, got one shot, rebound came up, and I think he got the Acrobatic save there by Billy Zanaboni.
Well, I tell you what, want to say hi to Bill and Cindy Zanaboni out in Plymouth, Massachusetts. That was one proud papa last Saturday night at St. Cloud, Bill Zanaboni.
He's going to be a good one. I think he's going to be, by the time he's done, I think he's going to be one of the best goaltenders Northern's saw here.
Well, you don't see a smile much bigger than the one that was on Dad's face as he went to that game in St. Cloud last weekend, and his son turned in an outstanding performance. Leitner with the puck, 1:33 in the power play for the Wildcats. Icing call against Northern Michigan. The penalties on Thielen and Siddall were unsportsmanlike conduct, both at 7:27.
Northern switch up the power play. They got Leighton and Oystrick on defense with Oliver, Santorelli, and Southern up front.
Key defensive zone face-off for the Wildcats. Puck comes to Nathan Oystrick. Nathan will work it through the middle of the Wildcat zone. He feeds it right side for Dirk Southern. Here comes Dirk into the zone. He's got Over with him. Over tried to slide it across for Santorelli, but it was blocked by the Michigan State defense. Good play by Chris Snavely of the Spartans. Now Graham works to the Wildcat zone. Nice slide by Oystrick, but it's going to cost him a penalty. Well, the old theory that if you get puck before you get skate, it's not a penalty has been thrown out the window. Oystrick is unhappy, and he just got dimed. Slammed the penalty box door and got a 10-minute misconduct. .8:20 the time of the call.
I don't agree with that call either. You look at I'd like to see the replay of that one. Pretty tough call. Like you said, he got puck, he got, I don't know. But the Oystrick's going to have 2 and 10.
Well, what I don't necessarily disagree with the penalty because they've kind of gone away from the old theory, the one that we were brought up under, where if you did get puck before you got skate, that it was no trip. But what I don't like is the quick dime on the misconduct. He slammed the penalty box door. You've got to allow him a little latitude on that. Unless he said something that we didn't hear. Now, that's also possible.
I can see how he got the 10. He really slammed it pretty good, but I didn't agree with the 2. I don't know. I guess we don't agree with either of them.
That's right. So the team's playing 4-a-side for the next 35 seconds. Contoys into the Spartan zone. Tried to feed for Olber. Had it knocked away. Spartans will bring it out across center ice. That's Chris Snavely. Snavely will play it around the corner. John Miller back to pick it up for Northern Michigan. Johnny will flip it down the rink. It'll be one lining waving it off, one saying icing, and the one that says no wins. 14 left in the 4-a-side. Then the Spartans will go on their 6th power play of the night. Vukovic for Michigan State plays it around the near side corner, takes a funky carom, and ends up under Zanaboni with 10:33 to go in the period.
1 second, Michigan State will be on the 5th power play. I think 6th power play of the night. They're 1 for 5. Very unofficial, Dave. It's tough to keep up with these.
Siddall and Thielen come out of the penalty box. Their penalties have expired. Well, I've got 6, you've got 6, so we'll call it 6.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen if I had 6 and you had 7 because we can't call it 6.5. Puck goes around the boards out into the neutral zone. 45 left in the penalty kill as Hartung serves the Oystrick 2-minute minor. And I'll tell you what, that 10 minutes being without Oystrick for a total of 12 really puts a dent in the Wildcat blue line core. Here's Southern. Southern across center ice. Leitner over the blue line. He's got a man breaking into the net. The shot goes high and wide to the glove side. Spartans break back with it. Dunn into Wildcat territory. He pulls up. Top with Fretter. Fretter dances through traffic, gets the shot away, and Zanaboni makes the stick save. Puck at the top. Spartans with it. Vukovic. Working with it. Wildcats at full strength. The shot blocked by the defense. Cats break out with it. 3-on-2 with the man out of the penalty box. Here's Leitner. He's got Southern in an offside call with 9:32 to go.
Well, great chance for the Cats there. 3-on-2, and I don't know who went off, but good job on the penalty kill. Michigan State 1 for 6, and Cats has got to slow the penalty box.
And of
We'll
course,
be about Oyster for about 8 minutes here.
Of course, that one was negated by the Wildcats' shorthanded goal scored by Andy Contoys unassisted at 2:16 of this second period. Here's Ciancio. Matt had it knocked away. Nightingale plays it around the boards. It comes to Pat Murphy. He'll bump with his number 17 mate, A.J. Thielen. Murphy, checked by Lalonde. Murphy pushes it around. Wildcats trying to work with it. 9:10 to go in the second period. 2-1 our score. Dave Danis and Dave Mingay bringing you Wildcat hockey on Oldies 99.5 and Charter Communications. Miller pushes it for the Wildcats. It comes to Clayton Lanesbury. Here's Clayton across the blue line. His shot blocked by Nightingale. Pushed around. Wildcats. Ciancio with it. Tried to feed it in front, but Murphy was tied up. Spartans. Lalonde drives it around the boards for Slater in the Wildcat zone. Slater shovels it back the other way. Graham pushes it deep, looking for Slater. He tips it to the near side. Feed out in front, and nice work by the Wildcat defense. Darren Olver on the back check. There's a shot off of Zanaboni. 2 saves and 1 off the post. Spartans tried to work it out. Cats pick it up, dump it down right on the goal. Not even an icing. Great work by Zanaboni.
I'll tell you, he was just so confident goal. It's just amazing to watch him.
There's another shot. Zanaboni will glove it. We'll take a commercial timeout. 8:07 to go, second period, 2-1 Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99 and Charter Communications.
Home away from home. That's what Northern Michigan University is to me. All of my classes are within walking distance, and Northern offers over 180 quality academic programs to choose from. Each class is small enough for students to receive one-on-one attention, and each student will receive a ThinkPad for coursework, research, and staying in touch with the professors. You know, there's one more thing I like about my home away from home.
Hey Nick, pizza's here.
Northern, naturally.
Heating and cooling and refrigeration of Marquette. Purchase the Train furnace before November 30th, and Train will give you a 10-year parts and labor warranty free.
2-1 over the Michigan State Spartans here in the second period. Dave Danis and Dave Mingay glad to be bringing it your way tonight on Oldies 99.5. Wildcats in the Spartan zone. It comes up top to Blake Cosgrove. Cosgrove shot partially blocked by McKenzie. Puck worked around in the state zone. That's Siddall with it. He's tied up by Vukovic, but Siddall breaks loose. Dishes off. Wildcats still with it. Sauer lost it. Spartans will come back. McKenzie across the Wildcat blue line. He'll drive it. Stick save by the goaltender Zanaboni. Now Sauer ahead. 4 over. Darren breaking around the Michigan State's corner. Sidestep the glove. Comes to the near side. Bounces it off the wall for Siddall. Siddall checked by Skinner. Spartans come back. And we've got a whistle and a penalty call. It'll be a hook with 7:15 to go in the period.
I believe that's on A.J. Thielen, the big defenseman. So Cats are going to go on their 5th power play of the night. Break the cash in one now. Cash on it.
Cash it in, cash it on.
Something.
Put the puck in the net.
Put the puck in the net.
Hooking call on Thielen, the 6th penalty of the night against Michigan State. As Dave mentioned, we'll give the Wildcats our 5th power play, and I'm almost out of room on my penalty sheet.
Oh, unbelievable.
I need to get bigger paper.
Yeah, we need a bigger pads of paper this year.
And a bottomless pen. Wildcats on a City Insurance power play. Obstruction hooking the call on Thielen. Dirk Southern with the puck. It'll be ruled a hand pass. Wildcat Power Play brought to you by City Insurance Agency of Marquette and Gwinn. Wildcat Hockey and City Insurance, a winning combination. Well, it wasn't ruled a hand pass because the face-off.
I think it went off the netting at the end of the ice.
I think you are correct. Southern and Santarelli working for the Cats, along with Sauer, Leighton and Milam, the defensive pairing. And I think we may see some more of Jamie Milam now on the blue line, with Oystrick out for probably about, about 4 more minutes. Santarelli feeds it. Wildcats. Oh, it just skipped by Sauer. State defense got just enough of it to to redirect the puck. Otherwise, it was
a great play.
Nice work by the Wildcats. 1:14 left in the power play. Leitner will circle again. Leitner, right side for Ulver. Snavely got a whack at it. Leitner picks it back up for Northern Michigan. Knocked away again by Miller of the Spartans. 55 left in the man advantage for the Wildcats. Milam, right side for Leitner. Robb had it poked away by Estrada. He'll have to dish it back behind the goal. 43 left in the man advantage for Northern Michigan. Ahead come the Wildcats. Ulver, right side for Milam. Jamie throws it around the wall for Siddall. Siddall banging after it in the corner. Ulver also gets a stick in there. Up top to Jeff Waugh. Waugh goes down low. Caroms to Ulver. Back for Contoys. Andy around the goal. He goes up top for Milam. Jamie pulls it back. Feeds Contoys right side. Contoys underneath for Ulver. Darren cycles out up top to Milam. Back to Ulver. But Milam didn't get good wood on it. 5 left in the power play for the Cats as they get the Hartung-Lanesbury combination out on the ice. Spartans now back at full strength as Thielen steps out of the penalty box. Here come the Cats on the left side. Milam pulls it, fakes it, shoots it, and it ends up in the twine. 5:04 to go in the second. 2-1 Wildcats. Contoys, the shorthanded goal of difference here in the second period.
Shots 16-15. Cats up 2-1. Very well played, close hockey game. Obviously, both teams in all kinds of power play opportunities. Michigan State 1 for 6. The Cats 0 for 5.
Well, considering it's just the third regular season game of the year, I have to agree with you. A very well-played hockey game. And you also have to consider the number of young players in the Wildcat lineup that have really done a nice job.
Yeah, they're really playing with a lot of injuries, so it'd be great to win this one, wouldn't it?
Puck on the near boards. Spartans throw it into center ice. Jeff Waugh will chase back after it. I'll tell you what, then you know there's an icing call coming up against Northern Michigan. With that icing, we'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. It's 2-1 Wildcats, 4:42 to go in the second. You're on the Northern Michigan University Wildcat Hockey Network.
This is Bill Hedrick. As a Hedrick & Associates agent representing Auto Owners Insurance, Bill specializes in coverage for your business. His own experience in insurance and as a business owner give him a unique perspective. And with Hedrick & Associates' exclusive risk reduction program, Bill can help you avoid a business loss and keep you on track for business success. For auto owners' business insurance, contact Bill Hedrick of Hedrick & Associates. They've got just what you need.
Welcome back. Wildcats leading the Spartans 2-1. Dave Dannison, Dave Mingay bringing it your way here on Oldies 99.5. Puck on the far boards in the Wildcat zone. Nightingale pushes it. Southern gets a stick on it. Spartans will control. Drew Miller. Nice job by Matt Maunu taking him into the boards. Maunu again battling Miller hard. Maunu, the youngster out of Esco, Minnesota. Spartan got tripped up. No call. Miller. Trying the fancy footwork. Puck tossed up the boards by the Wildcats. Where'd it go? There it is. Down back into the corner. Jeff Waugh. Waugh throws a shoulder into Fretter as he pushed the puck up the boards. Nightingale will throw it back around for Michigan State. Lurg for the Spartans. Feeds it out in front, but the Cats will pick it up. Will they be able to get it out of the zone? Yes, they do. Spartans bring it back, though. Lurg feeds it across. It's skipped over the stick of Colton Fretter. Cats push it back across center. It will not have enough for icing. Spartans push it back on the corner. David Booth checked by Leighton. Puck up ahead. Lurg takes a bump from Pat Murphy. Spartans break it back. Here comes Booth with Estrada. But playing it well for the Wildcats was John Miller. He's tripped up. We've got a hooking call.
Got the Cats in the hook, and Michigan State's going to go in their 7th power play. Cats really struggling in their own zone there this last shift. 5 or 6 opportunities. They really got to clear the zone. Michigan State's going to take advantage of those situations.
Penalty goes against Leighton of the Wildcats. 9th penalty of the night for Northern Michigan. 6 infractions have been whistled against the Spartans. Well, now the officials are discussing because Miller was tripped up also, but there was no call because once Miller touched the puck, that was the end of the play. Face-off at the top of the near side circle for the Wildcats. Miller and Selden, the defensive pairing with Contois and Oliver. Cats have one shorty tonight. The Spartans one power play goal. A.J. Thielen to Lalonde on the near side of the blue line. He works up, throws it at the goal, blocked in front by Miller, and Zanaboni gets it covered.
The puck is actually loose. I think the referee lost sight of it. I don't know if he ever had it, Billy ever had it.
Well, we don't mind that when that happens on our end of the ice, but if that happens on the other, it's a grievous offense by the officials.
That's right.
We're allowed to be homers. You take a look, for those of you watching on TV, at the shot by Lalonde, and it hit traffic in front. Goebel.
Look at it off the netting and back of the net.
I think you are correct once again. You're having a good night tonight. Puck in front of the Wildcat goal, kicked off the side of the net. Over will throw it to the blue line, but it comes out. Thielen had both feet outside the blue line when he gloved it and set it down. Didn't have any of the 3 points inside of the line with either foot or stick. If you're standing outside the blue line but you have your stick over the line and you handle the puck with the stick, it's still in the zone. But if you're standing outside and you touch it, it's an offside. I'm not quite sure what Thielen was arguing there. Puck thrown all the way down the rink, 1:25 to go. In the penalty against Rob Leitman of the Wildcats. Thielen pushes it left side for Lalonde. Cats have Southern, Waugh, Maunu, and Contois on the kill. Puck behind the Cat goal. Waugh puts a bump on Lalonde. Puck comes to Slater. Slater pushes it to Thielen. Right side for Colton Freder. His shot saves Anaboni. 16th save of the night for Billy. Let's make that 17. Spartans with it. Freder another drive. That one blocked in front. Feed comes into the slot. High slot. Thielen will pick it up for the Wildcats. Goebel had made the feed, but there was no one there to pick it up. That is Goebel. He pushes it to Lalonde. Lalonde works to the far corner. He'll come up top for Thielen. Across to Snavely on the near side. He feeds it across the slot. And we get a whistle.
Guy in the case for State, so the face-off will come to the outside.
32 seconds to go in the second period. Coming up in tonight's second intermission, we'll have a chat with Eric Lamarck as he tells us some of his amazing ordeal. It'll be a two-part interview. We'll have part of it in tonight's second intermission and another portion of it tomorrow in the first intermission. Spartans control the puck. Snavely, with 29 left in the Michigan State power play, drives it behind the goal. Zanaboni out to play it. And it's thrown down the ice by the Wildcat. I'll tell you what, Zanaboni, not necessarily in his style of play, but in his propensity for handling the puck, reminds you a little of Billy Pye.
Yeah, he does a nice job playing the puck and really helped there. Got the puck up the third for the Cats. Murph, and he was able to take his own.
Now, I know there were times when Rick wanted to put a 6-foot leash on Billy away from the goalpost in his younger days, but as he developed, became very adept. Penalty coming up. It's going to be a holding call. 18:40 will be the time. There's 2 seconds remaining in the Leighton penalty. And going off for Michigan State.
Snavely, I believe, the defenseman.
That would be correct. Chris Snavely, the 5'8", 172-pounder out of Lancaster, PA.
It's really tough to get any flow going. I mean, it's just one power play after another here, and Cats are going to go in their 6th in 3 seconds. Hopefully, in the period, they could really take advantage of it, get them in the power play.
Puck comes. Wildcats now on a City Insurance power play as they return to full strength. Leighton takes the bench. Sauer comes out. Cats work it up. Maunu drives it around the boards. Sauer lets it go for Waugh. Waugh pushes it back in deep. It comes to Dirk Southern. Dirk up top for Maunu. Matt feeds it right side for Jeff Waugh. Waugh throws it at the goal through traffic, but Vicari was able to get the mitt on it and hang on with 55.9 to go. This power play brought to you by City Insurance Agency of Marquette and Gwynn. For great health insurance rates, see Todd Scott at City Insurance Agency.
I think Oystrick should be out here soon, shouldn't he? When we go in.
Oystrick will come out at 19:27, so he's got about 20 seconds left, 25 seconds. And the first whistle after that expires will allow Nathan to return. Southern. Feeds it in for Santarelli. Side of the goal. He took the shot trying to go short side, but it ended up in the belly of Vicari. 47.3 to go. 1:27 left in the power play. Cats, Southern, Santarelli, and Sauer with Waugh and Manu on the blue line. Boy, would a goal be huge here for Northern Michigan.
In the second period, 47 seconds to go, be huge.
Here's Jeff Waugh. Feeds it right side. Dirk Southern. Dirk underneath. Gets it back at the hash marks. Dirk works in. Takes the shot. Rebound. No rebound. Vicari held on. 35.7 to go. Shots now 20-18 in favor of the Wildcats. Face-off will again be on the Wildcats' offensive left. The stick side of the goaltender, Vicari. Out of Clinton Township. That sounds familiar.
Yep, Rick Walski.
Puck around the boards in the Spartan zone. They throw it all the way down the rink. 25 left in the period as Zanaboni leaves it for Waugh. Waugh is checked. Spartans trying to hold up the Wildcats from getting up the ice. Lalonde picks up the puck. He tried to feed it up top. Cats break back with it. 17 left in the period. Here comes Sauer. Sauer across the state blue line. Working into the side. Tries to feed it around to Santarelli. 9 seconds left. Santarelli working to kick it loose. Tries to work out in front. Takes the shot. Vicari the save. Tried to just finesse it onto the state goaltender. But I'll tell you what, Vicari has played himself a pretty solid period.
Vicari's been tough. The Cats have some good scoring chances here. Nice play by Santarelli. Put that puck to the net and try to go at 5-4 and just give him no room at all.
I'll tell you what I like about Santarelli is his feet. Great footwork by Santarelli, the draft pick of the Nashville Predators. Puck around the boards, and that will be the end of period number 2. Our score after 2, the Wildcats 2, the Michigan State Spartans 1. Dave and I will be back to recap second period action. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Charter Communications and Oldies 99.5 WNGE.
You don't have time for a mammogram? Try working breast cancer into your schedule.
DuPont Stainmaster carpet with new Tactest fibers is so incredibly soft. You have to feel it to believe it.
You deserve a carpet this soft. At Matthews Floor Fashions, experience the carpet that touches you back. Right now, get a free Puppy Soft mascot with your purchase of DuPont Stainmaster carpet with Tactest fiber. Like Tactest, he's soft as a puppy, tough as a bulldog, and great for naps. You know the jingle.
Your clear choice.
And you know our products.
Window store.
Now come to know us for what we really are. Home improvement professionals committed to offering the very best prices to our customers. We're expanding again to warehouse our products that we buy factory direct. And factory direct buying means huge savings to you. The bigger we get, the better the savings for you. Now you know why your clear choice is
the window store.
Wildcat football comes your way tomorrow at 12 noon here on Oldies 99.5 WNGE. Join Nate Rose and Jim LaJoy as the Wildcats take on Saginaw Valley State live from Saginaw. Pre-game show gets underway at 11:40. Kickoff 12 noon. Wildcat football on Oldies 99.5 WNGE. Dave Danis along with Dave Mingue and Minner. A very solid second period for the Wildcats. Shots were about even. The Cats get the only goal of the Contoy Shorty.
Great goal by Andy Contoy, short-handed, and you're up 2-1 going to the third period, right where you want to be. You want to be in the game going to third. You win the third period, win the hockey game. So Cats in a great situation here.
And the third period has been the Wildcats' best period of the season. They've scored 4 of their 5 goals prior to tonight in third period play, including 3 on Saturday night. So the Cats lead the Spartans 2-1 after 2. We'll take a commercial timeout. When we come back, a chat with former Wildcat Eric Lamarck. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 WNGE.
Your business is expanding. Northern Michigan University's Job Search Center is ready to help. Using interactive TV, you can interview NMU skilled graduates without the high costs accompanied with bringing candidates to your location. You can also post openings online at the Job Search Center's website or view resumes. The Job Search Center offers you candidates that are skilled and serious about contributing to your bottom line.
She had a music report due this morning, but our computer is so slow.
Quick, how do you get your internet service?
Through the dish.
She suffered a total photonic shutdown.
You mean?
She fell asleep waiting for the connection. But, thanks to Charter, we'll have that report finished in no time.
Do you know anything about the Blues?
Tired of waiting? Get Charter high-speed internet, up to 50 times faster than dial-up.
The dish is a disease. We're the cure. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER.
I'm Christy Evans, and I'm talking with the co-chairs of the 2004 United Way of Marquette County fundraising campaign. To my immediate right, Matt Sorrell, and to my far right, Jim Reeves. And first, I'd like to ask both of you to respond to why you decided to co-chair this campaign. It's a very visible role, and assuming that you stand behind what you're supporting.
I think the biggest reason, Christy, is because it helps a lot of people. I mean, I can't think of anything else in Marquette County that you can get involved with that's going to have a bigger impact on an awful lot of people at one time. The United Way serves over 39 agencies, and with that, you help a lot of people with that support. Both Matt and I realize, too, there's at least 12,000 people affected by the United Way campaign every year. So if you look around, you're going to find out that one of your neighbors, one of your relatives, somebody that you know has been impacted by the United Way. And that makes it pretty easy for everybody to reach into their wallets and take out a few dollars to help out, because you're going to be helping somebody that you know. It's your neighbor that's going to benefit from this.
And Jim, you've compared the goal for the United Way campaign, the challenge of meeting that goal, to taking a mountain. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
We live in such a beautiful area, and I thought about the mountain relationship to Marquette County, and I do a little mountain bike racing myself, and you got to put some effort into that too. So Matt, you may have some ideas on how this analogy works as well.
Well, I think it does, because I do a lot of power walking, and going up long hills is gets your heart pumping. But I wanted to also add that the United Way of Marquette County is back to its core mission of focusing on meeting community needs, and we can accept pledges which provide human service agencies that serve Marquette County.
And the theme of the campaign is what matters, the same as last year. Why does the United Way matter to Marquette County in your minds?
It matters because of everything that we've said in the amount of people it helps. When you can help 12,000 people, that's what matters.
And there's something uniquely American about this kind of philanthropy that's the strength in numbers. It goes back almost to the work bee or the barn raising, where people pitch in, or if there's been a natural disaster, people pitch in. But this is on an organized basis. I mean, you can walk down the street of any town in Marquette County, and you will probably cross paths with somebody that the United Way has helped.
Several years ago, I didn't have any idea what the Ishmael Cancer Society did. And then about 3 years ago, my sister was diagnosed with terminal cancer. She was doing very well and went to visit a daughter in Maine, and while there, took a turn for the worse and was told that she was not going to live much longer. And the main thing she wanted was to die at home, and we didn't know how we would get her home. So I called the Ishpeming Cancer Society and asked them what types of things they do. I explained my situation, and they said that's exactly the type of thing that they do. And they arranged it so that I could fly out and pick up my sister and bring her back home so that she could die at home, which she did about 2 weeks later. At the same time, my brother was going through a bout with cancer, which was also terminal, and he was self-employed. He didn't have the money to pay his insurance premiums, so he contacted the Ishpeming Cancer Society because he knew what they'd done for my sister, and they were able to pay his premiums for him so that he could at least keep his health insurance and get the care he needed. Subsequently, I found out how truly important they are because my husband is now battling cancer, and we have found out we're very fortunate to have adequate health insurance and some resources of our own. But I worry a lot about things like finances, and I'm grateful that there is some place like the Ishpeming Cancer Society to turn to for these things. When we were looking for help from the Ishpeming Cancer Society, we had checked with a couple of other organizations who didn't provide the kind of assistance we needed. The assistance we needed was immediate and direct and right now. And everything that the Ishpeming Cancer Society does is for their neighbor. It's the people that you know, people next door. I know a number of other people that have received assistance from them. But the Ishpeming Cancer Society does not have a lot of fundraisers. It's a totally volunteer organization, and they don't have a lot of fundraisers. And so the largest portion of their funds comes from the United Way, and then from small donations from grateful families, etc. But the largest proportion of their money comes from the United Way. And without that United Way money, our services would be curtailed greatly. We would not be able to offer all the services we do.
With your help, we're going to take that mountain.
Being a big brother, you know, it's really a give and take. I mean, he gets a lot from his experiences with me, and I also get a lot from experiences with him. Gained a lot from it, and hopefully he's gained some from me. It started out, I was in the bowl for kids' sake, and I just decided one day, you know, why stop there? Why not take it to the next level or to the next step and actually become a big brother? And it's been a great, really rewarding experience for me.
Being a little brother, it's kind of fun actually with Brian. You know, sometimes it's just plain fun. Usually, you get to go to places sometimes you don't. Your parents never let you go. Probably like to bowling. Probably go hunting, fishing. You name it. It's not just a brother. He's a friend.
I know that United Way is a big sponsor and a big part of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, as are many other organizations. It's not just Big Brothers. I mean, it's a collaboration of many places, and without United Way's help, the program wouldn't be nearly as successful as it is today. And it's just a great experience having a little brother, and like Kurt was saying, I mean, we're not just littles and bigs. I mean, we're friends too. You know, and that's what it's all about, right?
Definitely.
I'm going to take that mountain.
When I came to Marquette a year ago, scared to death, coming out of a domestic violence, abusive relationship, I was told to give them a call, not knowing what I was getting into. But I knew I needed to talk to somebody, and the Women's Center helped out in more ways than I ever dreamed of. They opened my eyes up to a lot of the abuse that I went through that I did not think was abuse because I was never physically hit. But all the bruises and bleeding were eternal. It's about moving on in your life, picking up the pieces and setting forth new goals and dreams for you and your children. And they help you with everything and anything. All you gotta do is ask. And they're there for you all the time. Even if there's a situation that comes up at home, you get on the phone, you call and say, hey, what do I do? You know, and they just work you through it. And they're just a blessing from God. And I don't know what I would have done without them, without United Way. There wouldn't be the people here to work, to help, to counsel, to have a shoulder to cry on, especially for the children, the women that work with the children. Without United Way, they wouldn't be here because they fund. The monies and everything are funded to the Women's Center here to keep it going. They help you. I got hope through, you know, avenues of education and work and searching myself and searching dreams that I thought that could never come true. Thanks to United Way and the Women's Center, it is possible.
Well, we're at the top of Mount Marquette. Getting to the peak, getting to the top of any mountain is worth it once you see the beautiful vistas that lie before you, Jim.
We're going to take that mountain with your help. We need each one of you to set a personal goal for a campaign in your own organization, even if it's your own family. Set a goal, climb your own mountain in your own way, but help us reach that goal. And then you'll experience the exhilaration of victory that comes with reaching that goal. And that's in the form of all your friends and neighbors that benefit from the United Way having enough money for their agencies to be able to serve these people.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Matt. And on that note, we hope that you will accept their challenge and contribute to the 2004 United Way of Marquette County campaign.
And establish yourself in that first 5 minutes. The Cats started with a power play.
Power play, so the goal if the Cats could get one right off the bat here.
Cats will start out with Southern and Santarelli, along with Leighton, Manu, and Waugh. Or check that, not Leighton, but Olver. Puck comes around. It'll be played in behind the Wildcat goal by Jeff Waugh. 19:49 to go in the game. 27 left in the City Insurance power play for Northern Michigan. Puck played around the Michigan State zone. Olver pushes it around the net. It comes to Santarelli. Up top to Matt Manu. Manu, right side for Santarelli. Cycles it to Southern. Dirk feeds it back to Santarelli. Right side for Olver. Darren working out. Gets a little semi-pick from Waugh. Puck thrown back into the corner. Pushed up the near board. Spartans will pick it up and clear it out. State now at full strength, so the Cats officially a donut for 6 on the power play. Manu will set it up in behind the Wildcat goal. First time the Cats have taken a lead to the third period so far in this young season. Here's Leighton, uses the D-man for a screen, gets the shot, and the save made by Vicari.
Really important the Cats play 5-on-5 hockey here now, Dave. You don't want to take any penalties in the third period, up 2-1.
Nice job by Leighton shooting through the screen. Face-off kicked into the corner. Snavely Loses it to Matt Ciancio. Ciancio up top for Sheldon. Leighton banging after it. It comes loose. Lalonde in there. Ciancio runs him into the wall. Puck comes loose and goes in behind the goal. Spartans with it. They feed it right side. And it comes out into center ice, and that one ends up in the rafters.
That was coming up here.
I thought we were going to have to duck. But we're safe. I've got full confidence in Mr. Mingay should any pucks come this way.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, I'm supposed to take the puck.
That's right. You take the puck, I'll take the blame.
Puck thrown around the goal by the Spartans. John Miller will play it off the boards on the left side. In deep, here come the Cats. Wrap around by Over, and Vicari gets the stick down, covers the 5-hole, and keeps it out of the goal. 2-1 Cats, 18:15 to go in the third. Take a look on the TV play.
Chance if the goaltender's going down maybe a little bit early, the Cats might be able to go up top on Vicari here a little bit. See if they don't look for that. Having 3 or 4 wraparounds and see if Vicari's going down early.
Lalonde with the puck on the near side. Throws it up the ice. Here's a chance, but Zanabani will come out. Play it off the board. Slater gets a stick on it for Michigan State. Slater will chase it around the corner. Thrown out in front of the net. Cats tip it away. Up to the right side. Siddall got a piece of it, but the Spartans kept it in. Siddall will push it back out for Sauer. He crosses the blue line with Over, and Over a step offside as Sauer was taking his time coming into the state zone. 17:45 to go, third period, 2-1. Cats leading Michigan State. Lanesbury and Contoy's the goal. Fretter scored first for Michigan State back at the 6:48 mark of the first. But Lanesbury and Contoy's have countered for Northern Michigan. Puck up the left side. Here comes Graham into the Wildcat zone. Graham dances by Maunu and made one too many moves. He had the shot and passed it up for one more move, and Maunu was able to recover. Estrada throws it across the crease. It comes to the near boards. Here come the Spartans. Estrada with a poke check by Blake Cosgrove. Wildcats toss it out across center ice. It goes all the way down. Contoy's tried to feed it to a breaking Dirk Southern, but it was knocked away by Snavely. Puck behind the goal. Spartans push it to the near side. Banging going on. Santarelli gets the loose biscuit. Working off the wall. He gets some help from Andy Contoys. Now Santarelli dances out in front, backhander, gets his own rebound, shoots, and somehow Vicari got the right shoulder on it. Vicari has lost his stick. Now he's trading lumber with his D-men. Puck will come out into center ice. Boy, Santarelli does a great job finding open ice.
Great scoring chance there for Santarelli.
Puck bounced off the boards. Bobby Sheldon back to pick it up for Northern Michigan. 16.5 to go, third period. 2-1 Wildcats. Here's Lanesbury with the turnover. He scores! The Spartans turned it over, and Lanesbury has his second of the night. What great work, Dave.
Yeah, the great play. The defenseman stand on the shot. Lanesbury took that puck in and beat the goaltender clean. Great job by Lanesbury. Second of the night, I'll tell you. You've been talking about him. I told you he was going to get the game winner tonight, didn't I?
You know, you did.
I did.
You did. I think I owe you a Diet Pepsi now, if that's it. Oh, Contoys has the go-ahead goal right now, though. Here come the Cats again. Hartung into the state zone. His shot from the side, sticked away by Vicari. Puck in the far corner of the Michigan State zone. Wildcats trying to free it up. 15:58 to go. Lanesbury unassisted at 3:37. 2 unassisted goals tonight for the Wildcats. Puck out to the blue line. Pushed back in by the Spartans. That was Graham. It comes to the near side. McKenzie dishes. Skinner pushes it deeper, looking for Ash Goldie. He's tied up by Oystrick, and Nathan will clear the zone, and that will have enough for icing.
Cats have had 2 or 3 chances. That's shift, Dave. They got to make sure they get the puck out of the zone. The puck came around the Cats forward. He didn't get his stick on it. Got to get it, stick on it, get it out of the zone. We cannot give State the scoring chances there and put it over to their own zone.
I tell you, that goal by Lanesbury, huge. Although many coaches will tell you 2 goals is the most dangerous lead in hockey. Puck on the far boards. Blake Cosgrove will flip it into the neutral zone. Spartans trying to work it free. Nice work by Pat Murphy, though. Boy, I like the way that kid plays hockey.
He works.
Puck down in the corner. Ciancio goes after it. Big collision with Ciancio and Ethan Graham. Graham got the better of that one. Penalty coming up on the Spartans zone. Wildcats with the puck. They get Olveron as the extra attacker. Puck in deep. Ciancio feeds it to the side of the goal. Vicari makes the save. And Ciancio and a Spartan hit the ice. Well, we got some uglies going on. Time to break out the new penalty sheet. I hope that Matt Ciancio didn't give the power play right back.
Mr. State's going to have the first penalty. Let's see what he calls here.
Brown, the referee.
Hopefully they're not coincidentals.
I said we'll take a look at it for the TV viewers on the replay. That huge collision, and Graham got the elbow up in the chops of Ciancio, and Matt took a little offense to that.
Well, I think the Cats are going to still be on a power play. He's got 2 on State and 1 on Northern.
Will be the time of the penalty calls. Ciancio is going to go for Northern.
Well, Cats are on the power play. Number 7 for the night.
Southern, Santarelli, Leighton, Oystrick, and Olver. Quintet for the Cats. Michigan State penalty goes against Ethan Graham. So it's a City Insurance power play for Northern Michigan. Here comes Santarelli across the State blue line. Santarelli working on the left side of the zone. 14:34 to go in the game, 1:35 in the power play. And we get another call. It's going to be a slash. And it goes against the Cats.
That's into that power play.
Okay, the original penalties, Murphy of the Wildcats and Mueller for State roughing, and Graham charging. And now the Wildcats get another one. This one will go against Darren Olver for slashing.
So we'll see 4-on-4 hockey for minute 29 and State be on the power play.
Obstruction slashing. Now that's a different call. And I'm not saying that in critique of the official. I'm just saying that's one I've never heard before. I've heard obstruction hooking, holding, tripping. Here comes Dirk Southern for the Wildcats. They're playing four-side and an offside. The Southern again, the Wildcats just making a lot of moves at the blue line tonight.
Yeah, it's about the 5th or 6th offside. One thing Walt Kyle does not like is that offside when they go off like that, but
Leighton will take the draw for the Wildcats. He's got Contoys with Selden and John Miller. Spartans with the puck. Lots of room on this Olympic sheet with 4-on-4 hockey. Thielen works into the Wildcat zone, gets the shot. Nice job by Billy Zanaboni. Here's Vukovic. Feeds it right side. Snavely the drives. Zanaboni, another save. Penalty coming up on the Cats. Spartans get the extra attacker out. We'll have some 4-on-3 hockey coming. Puck along the far boards. Spartans still controlling it. They play it right side. There's the shot, blocked by Selden. Rebound, score! Well, that will erase the penalty that was coming and make the score 3-2. As you had
the Spartans working through traffic. I believe Estrada will get credit for the goal.
Estrada hits the Slater again. So dangerous. I think they got the extra attacker out there. They have the extra man in the penalty room.
So Michigan State the goal at 6:41. That makes the score 3-2. The Cats still in the lead. A pair of goals for Clayton Lanesbury for Northern Michigan. And a shorty for Andy Contoys. Walt Kyle now wants to chat with Dan Brown, the referee. It is Estrada with the goal. Snavely and Slater the assists at 6:41. First goal of the season for Kevin Estrada. 3-2 is our score. 13:09 to go, third period. Cats will get a power play. Pardon me, the Cats will be shorthanded in 5 seconds when Graham returns to the ice for Michigan State. It'll be a 29-second power play for Michigan State. We get a whistle. We'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 and Charter Communications.
Think you don't have time for a mammogram? Try working breast cancer into your schedule.
Spartans with the puck at the northern blue line, offside as Vukovic takes a bump from Leitner. Cats leading it 3-2, 6 seconds left in the Darren Ulver penalty. Faceoff will be at the Michigan State blue line. Dave Danis and Dave Mingay bringing you the Cats on 99.5. WNGE, Negaunee Marquette. Cats will have Dirk Southern with Siddall, Jeff Waugh, and Nathan Oystrick. Oystrick bangs it off the boards. It comes out into the neutral zone. Graham with it for the Spartans. Cats return to full strength. Another solid penalty kill for Northern Michigan. 7 of 8 tonight. 24 of 26 on the season. Plus a shorty. So you're only -1 on 26 penalties. Another whistle at the blue line, 12 and 13 to go.
They have done a great job in the penalty kill, but you just don't want to keep going to that well, Dave. The team as talented as Michigan State, they're going to take advantage of it sooner or later.
Well, that's certainly the case.
You can't be giving the opposing team power play after power play after power play. Puck loose at the Michigan State blue line.
Wildcats working with it. 11:54 to go in the period. They lead it 3-2. Faceoff will be in the Michigan State end of the ice.
Just not a whole lot of flow to this game because of all the power plays. I mean, there's very little 5-on-5 hockey tonight.
Leitner takes the draw. Maunu pinches, pushes it into the corner. Leitner will go after it. It comes on the boards. It pops up into the air. That'll be a hand pass against the Cats. You can glove it and play it to yourself in the offensive zone, but you cannot have a teammate be the next person to touch it with a stick or with any appendage. So the faceoff comes outside the zone. 11:44 remaining in the period. 3-2, the Cats in the lead. The Spartans scored the first and the fifth goals of the night. The Cats the middle three. Here's Nathan Oystrick. Fires the puck around the boards. It comes to Leitner. He chipped it out in front. Spartans will chip it out of the zone. All the way down the rink it goes. Waugh and Lalonde race after it. Waugh spins away. Plays it up the boards for Pat Murphy. Murphy gets it to Ciancio. Matt plays it across center ice. Takes a bump from Lalonde. Puck for the Spartans into the Wildcat zone, but the pass from Goebel to Lalonde went awry. Goebel plays it for Slater. Slater throws it across the slot, but it goes harmlessly to the near boards. Puck comes to Lalonde at the top. His shot blocked by Jeff Waugh. Catsiancio will clear it out. Nice work by Matt, just taking the little chip off the wall.
You got to clear the zone there when you got any kind of trouble here in the third period. Good job by Ciancio chipping it out.
Puck comes down the rink. Spartans working with it into the Wildcat end. Blake Cosgrove takes a bump as he handles the puck for Northern Michigan. And we'll get a whistle. We'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. 3-2 Wildcats, 10:36 to go. You're on the Northern Michigan University Wildcat Hockey Network.
Mengay of the Rec Room is one hard-working guy, and the product knowledge, unbelievable. Need a spa for stress relief or pain relief? Dave knows which one's best for you. Dave knows which fireplace would best heat your den, living room, or cabin. Dave knows the pool table that would fit your family room. It takes years and years of hard work and product study to know all this. Isn't it time you started studying like Dave? The Rec Room. Say aye, eh?
And Train will give you a 10-year parts.
Wildcats as we return to action.
Michigan State on their 9th power play opportunity of the night.
This one will go against Blake Cosgrove. Now, we've seen the success of the penalty kill unit for the Wildcats. We don't want to see that anymore. We just want to see him play five-a-side, but Cosgrove goes for interference. The 8th penalty of the night against Northern Michigan. Here come the Spartans. The Wildcats have Waugh and Oystrick with Southern and Contois on the kill. Puck tipped loose. Spartans keep it in. What a job by Oystrick, sliding and knocking it away from Colton Fretter. Puck comes back into the Northern Michigan zone. Oystrick bangs after it as he gives Slater a thump. Puck loose up the far boards. Wildcats clear.
Southern, nice play by Southern, clearing the zone there.
Buck 22 to go in the power play. Spartans, Ash Goldie dumps it around the boards. Maunu gives chase for the Wildcats. He takes a bump, knocks it out into the neutral zone. Ulver got a stick on it with a minute to go in the state power play. Slater for Fretter. There's the shot from the point by Thielen. That one sticked aside by Zanaboni. And we get a whistle with the puck on the far wall. 9:20 to go in the period. Our score, the Wildcats 3 and the Spartans 2. Well, I got to say a big hello to a buddy of mine listening down in Birmingham, Alabama.
Wow.
One of my best friends, Chess Allen, taking in Wildcat hockey. Got to teach some of those Southern boys a little about hockey and made a few fans out of them. There's more than Bama football.
Good.
Gotta love the Tide, though. Spartans with the puck. There's the shot over the goal. 44 left in the power play. Vukovic will play the puck in the Michigan State corner. Vukovic out over the line. Booth up ahead into the Wildcat zone. He goes deep around the goal. Tried to spin it up top to Estrada, but it's deflected out of the zone by Rob Leitner. Here come the Spartans back the other way. Estrada in center ice, poked by Ulver. Puck goes into the Wildcat corner. Booth, near side for McKenzie. McKenzie tried to tip it up the wall to Vukovic, but Contois knocks it out. And a nice job by the Wildcat kill.
Good job by Andy Contois. State now 1 for 9.
Here come the Spartans. McKenzie tries to split the D. He'll get ridden wide by Maunu as they collide going to the corner. Oystrick and Booth will battle. McKenzie with it now for Michigan State. McKenzie and Maunu go to the ice. Here come the Cats. Southern with Contois. Here's Andy into the Spartan zone. Tried to feed it back across, but a nice play by the defenseman Snavely. Wildcats with it again. Southern working out from behind the goal. Had it tipped away. Puck comes loose. Cats will keep it in. Got to the blue line, but Oystrick was there to knock it back deep. Here's Drew Miller. Miller across center ice to the Wildcat blue line, but he's poke checked by Bobby Selden, and it'll be cleared by Clayton Lanesbury.
Icing on the Cats, so the puck going to be deep in the Wildcat zone. Shots are 24-23. Couldn't be much more even, but the Cats up in the scoreboard 3-2.
Face-off will be back in the Northern Michigan zone. Thielen for the Spartans. Puck comes to Colton Fretter. Fretter works out of the far corner. Poke check by Selden. Back into the corner it goes. Spartans feed it up top. Fretter the drive and a save by Zanaboni. Puck loose in the slot. Zanaboni, nice job getting a big pad out and a skate on the post on the right side.
Great save by Zanaboni.
That was textbook scramble goaltending. Here's Siddle with over 2-on-1. The shot, rebound, loose in front, another poke at it, and somehow Vicari kept it out.
Wow, back and forth. Great save by Zanaboni, and then the Cats came down at 2-on-1. Siddle tried to bury it behind the goaltender, and Vicari came up big. There's the rebound.
Well, I tell you though, back on the other end, Zanaboni had the shot, the puck bounced loose, and immediately that right leg kicked out, got the skate right up against the post, and was able to keep the puck out. That guy's had some good coaching somewhere. Lanesbury wins the draw for the Wildcats, but the Spartans knock it out. 6:55 to go, third period. 3-2 Northern Michigan. Pair of goals for the freshman Clayton Lanesbury. Puck thrown across. That is Lanesbury chasing it left side into the state zone. He takes a bump. Snavely. Cats keep it. Puck comes to Waugh. Jeff the shot. It comes in. Oh, what a save by Vicari. Waugh took a little too long to let that one go.
Yeah, I think Jeff was kind of waited maybe a little bit too long, but great scoring chance there for the Cats. Lanesbury again did a great job out there.
Tell you what, I've liked what I've seen from this kid from the get-go, going right back to the green-gold game. And boy, there you see Murph crashing the net. Lots of traffic in front of Vicari. Southern takes the draw for the Cats. Spartans will control. Jared Nightingale lost it. It comes to Ash Goldie. Rick Comley shortening his bench. Here's a pass in front. Santarelli the shot and a pad save. Puck comes on the left side for Michigan State. Skinner ahead to McKenzie. McKenzie into the Wildcat zone, but he's checked by Blake Cosgrove. Cosgrove and McKenzie battling. Goldie gets a stick on it. Puck goes behind the Northern Michigan net. Pushed ahead for Pat Murphy. Murphy knocks it into center ice. It'll be picked up there by Ash Goldie. Skinner, right side for Nightingale. Nightingale will drive it in right on the goal, and Zanaboni will glove it. He'll leave it for Matt Maunu. Matt off the wall for Siddall. Siddall throws it into center ice. Here come the Cats. Andrew Sauer. Sauer working in, taken down. Penalty coming up. Michigan State. Cats get the extra attacker. Sauer tried to push it behind. Spartans touch, and the power play will come for Northern Michigan.
Great job by Sauer there, taking that puck hard to the net. And that's what it's going to cause. 5:35, the Cats go on the power play. Yeah, big one here, Dave.
And again, Sauer keeping the feet moving, forcing the defenseman to make that play. It will be power play number 7 for Northern Michigan, unofficially. That's the word of the year.
Unofficial. I got 8, but now we disagree. I think we're going to disagree a lot with the amount of penalties going to be called, but
I need a Nassau computer. City Insurance power play. Jeff Waugh throws it at the goal. Vicari makes the save and hangs on. 8th penalty of the night on Michigan State. .5:28 to go. This power play brought to you by City Insurance Agency of Gwynn and Marquette. Trim your insurance costs with City Insurance and save. Jeff Waugh plays it left side for Oystrick. Ulver leading the charge up front with Southern and Santarelli. That is Santarelli, the freshman, working to the far side. Santarelli feeds it underneath. It comes in the slot. Waugh gets a stick on it, pops to the near side, and the Spartans will clear. Minute 30 left in the power play. Oystrick back after it in the northern zone. Oystrick with Waugh, plays it right side. Dirk Southern. Southern Cruising through center ice. Southern in, takes the shot. That one's deflected. It goes off the screen right in front of the puckheads.
Well, what do we got? 1:16 to go in the power play. Second power play group coming out.
That group will include the freshmen Sauer and Siddall on the forwards with Leighton, Maunu, and Cosgrove. Nightingale pushes it for the Spartans. Sauer gets it up top to Matt Maunu. Maunu feeds it left side. Cosgrove the shot. That one tipped wide. Cats still control. Rob Leighton working around, being watched by Nightingale. Leighton, 58 left in the power play. He's poke check, gets the puck back, throws it around to Sauer. Sauer taking a look, looking for some room up top for Cosgrove. Cosgrove fumbled it, fed it over to Maunu. Matt will drive it into the corner. 44 left in the power play. Cats controlling still. At the left of the goal, Cosgrove, the drive, that one wide of the net. It comes to Maunu on the near side. Matt Maunu fakes the shot. D-man goes down. Maunu feeds it right side to Sauer. Sauer up top for Maunu. Fakes it, feeds Sauer. Sauer, right side, low to Leighton. The shot, rebound out in front, and it's cleared aside by the Spartans. Kept in by the Cats, though. Cosgrove to Sauer with 15 left in the power play. Sauer working off the boards. Feeds it to the side of the goal. Backhander tried to go upstairs. Collision at the net, and Vakari hangs on. Nice work by Leighton, Dave, and you pointed out the Cats are going to look to go upstairs.
Yeah, good job by Leighton, and he went hard of the net, tried to go to the backhand, go to the top of the goaltender, and Vakari made the save. Good job of crashing the net by Robbie Leighton.
Cat fans got those shakers going. Lots of noise at the Barrie tonight. They'll do it all again tomorrow. Dave and I will be on the air with the pregame show at 7:15 as the Cats battle the Spartans here at the Barrie Event Center. And then 3 of the next 4 will be on the road at Notre Dame next week, and then a home-and-home with Michigan Tech. And then it's off to Ohio State, so actually 5 of 6 on the road for the Cats. So a very important home series here this weekend. Oystrick feeds it down in. Ciancio. Spartans back at full strength. It comes out. Slater with Graham. Graham tried to feed it across, but Slater was taken down. Penalty coming up, Wildcats. 3:24 remaining, and as they make the penalty call, we'll take a 30-second commercial timeout. 3-2 Wildcats. You're on the Northern Michigan University Wildcat Network.
Cousineau. As a Hetrick & Associates agent representing auto owners insurance, Tom specializes in programs that protect your business. After evaluating your operation, Tom can suggest practices focused on risk reduction and recommend the auto owner's coverage that best fits your needs and budget. That's what Tom, along with auto owners, can do for you. For auto owners business insurance, contact Tom Cousineau of Hetrick & Associates. They've got just what you need.
Welcome back. The Wildcats on the penalty kill. Nathan Oystrick called for obstruction hooking at 16:36. 3-2, the Cats lead. State on the power play. The Cat kill will have Southern and Contois flanked by Maunu and Selden.
Not only does that penalty hurt, but you have Nathan Oystrick out of the lineup for 2 minutes.
14 minutes in penalties tonight for Oystrick. Contois knocks it loose. Here come the Wildcats on a rush. Contois with Southern into the state zone. Southern goes to that. The pass across. Southern got a tip on it, but not enough to redirect it into the cage. 1:20 to go in the penalty kill for Northern Michigan with Nathan Oystrick off for hooking. Spartans. Fretter throws it around the Wildcat zone. Comes on the far side to A.J. Thielen. Spartans work it. Ash Goldie being watched by Over. Spartans trying to collapse that Wildcat box, but the Cats doing a good job. There's a drive. That one caroms off the boards and out of the zone. Puck comes all the way around the state end. Thielen goes back after it. Here come the Spartans. Goebel for Snavely. Puck in the corner. Cats trying to knock it free. 24 left in the power play. And they clear it. 19 left in the power play. Puck comes all the way back up top. Spartans hold it in. 5 left in the man advantage. They take the shot. That one bounces off the corner. Oystrick returns to the ice. 1:24 to go. Puck in the far end. John Miller chases after Estrada. Puck poked loose to the far corner. Southern ahead. Here comes Santarelli with Contois. 2-on-1. Contois in. Contois feeds it across Santarelli. And what a save by Vicari. Highway robbery.
Wow, 2-on-1. What a beautiful play.
And it was well worked. Contois did a great job threading that pass through. Final minute of the game. We'll watch for the state goal to come empty. 3-2. Wildcats lead it. Puck in center ice. Contois for Northern Michigan. Dances away from Lalonde and throws it back across the state blue line. McKenzie sends it to the Wildcat zone. Calmly getting ready to signal his goaltender Vicari. We get a whistle. 35.7 remaining. Dave Mingay is headed downstairs for his post-game interview. Cats will take the face-off just outside their blue line, and we get a timeout called by the Michigan State Spartans. Well, I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game, including Matthews Floor Fashions, Public Service Garage, The Rec Room, Bangos, among others, Marquette Board of Light and Power, providing reliable electricity at not-for-profit rates, proud to be part of your community, by City Insurance Agency of Marquette and Gwinn, where you get big city service at a small-town price, and by Pepsi, a proud sponsor of NMU Athletics. Pepsi, it's the cola. And Duquesne Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration. To take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial heating and cooling needs, call Duquesne today at 228-7290. 3-2 our score. The Cats' goals coming from Clayton Lanesbury, a pair, and Andy Contoy shorthanded. The Michigan State Spartans have goals from Colton Fretter and Estrada. Jim Slater has a pair of assists for Michigan State. Spartans will look to empty the goal. As soon as they can get the puck over the Wildcat blue line, Vicari will play up between the circles in the high slot. Southern, Albert, Oystrick, Waugh, and Leighton on the ice for the Wildcats. But the Cats control, send the puck back into the neutral zone. You can hear the fans making the noise. Puck comes down deep in the Wildcat end. The state goal is empty. Spartans, Lalonde working out of the corner. Dishes off. Cats knock it loose. It comes up the boards, but the Spartans keep it in. Back up top it comes again. Thrown toward the goal. Cats break loose with it. Here comes Dirk Southern. He's got Over with him. Southern throws it at the goal. He scores! Second goal of the year. It comes with 6.6 seconds left. Dirk Southern, the goal for the Wildcats. They now lead it 4-2, and the Cats fans have thrown the shakers all over the ice. And fans, you don't want to do that because they can call a penalty on the home team for that. They can't put the whole crowd in the penalty box, but they can and will assess a delay of game penalty for throwing the stuff on the ice. You remember back a few years ago, the NHL had the Florida Panthers all throwing the plastic rats on the ice. And that quickly, when that ice got almost covered black with plastic rats, that practice got quickly curtailed. I think the only thing that lets you throw on the ice now is an octopus. The worst I ever saw was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Baton Rouge Kingfish played their first home game ever against the Birmingham Bulls, who I was working for at the time. And when the Kingfish scored their first goal, somebody threw a smoked fish onto the ice. Now, you should have seen the officials trying to clean that one up. Took forever. So with all these shakers on the ice, looks like the referee will assess a delay of game penalty. Rob Leighton goes in the penalty box to serve it. The goal by Dirk Southern, I believe, will be unassisted. Southern the goal at 19:53 into the empty net. Cats ice crew gets out to clean those shakers up. And the penalty goes up on the board. It'll be listed as a bench minor for delay of game. Oh, it's a double. 2 Wildcats will go. 19:53 will be the time of the call. I'm sure we will get an announcement from Tim McIntosh very soon. So it'll be penalties 10 and 11 assessed against the Cats. State will get 5-on-3, but the point is basically moot because, well, they haven't put the Southern goal up on the board yet, so I'm wondering if the Leighton penalty was called prior to Southern picking up the puck. They have not yet put it on the board. They do have 2 Wildcat penalties.
Wildcat penalties. Number 9, Ron Leighton, 2 minutes for Leighton. And a Wildcat bench minor for fan interference to Leighton.
Leighton for roughing, and the Wildcat fans get 2 for delay of game. And the Leighton roughing call will negate the empty net goal by Dirk Southern. Now, fans, you gotta be a little more restrained than that. Do not throw things onto the ice. Now, the thing is, in those shakers too, those are filled with popcorn. One of those cap pops off and you got popcorn all over the ice. How would you like to see one of your guys step on a piece of popcorn with a skate and rip an ankle or a knee? That wouldn't be good either. You never know what can happen. Face-off will be in the center ice area. 8.6. They added 2 seconds to the clock. 8.6 to go. Southern will take the draw for Northern Michigan. Cats down 3-on-5. State goal is empty. It's actually 3-on-6. 5 seconds left. There's a shot and the save by Zanaboni. And there precisely is the point I make about the extra delay of game call. That allowed State with 6 players a lot of room to move, and they got a shot away. We wouldn't feel very good if that ended up tying the game somehow. 3.4 left. State will get one more opportunity. Oystrom asking for fan support. Slater takes the draw puck loose. There's a shot, and what a save by Zanaboni with 1 second to go. 2 great opportunities for Michigan State with the Wildcats playing 3-on-5. Spartans will get one more shot at it. They line 5 up across the line. Southern again will take the draw for Northern Michigan. There's a shot off the faceoff, and Zanaboni the save. The Wildcats win it 3-2. The Wildcats win it 3-2, and more people throwing the shakers onto the ice. Hey fans, this is Marquette. Let's be big league. We got to be big league here, folks. You're not in Philadelphia. Wildcats win it by a score of 3-2. We will take a commercial timeout. Be back with Dave Mingay's post-game interview. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 FM, WMGE, Negaunee, Marquette.
Think you don't have time for a mammogram? Try working breast cancer into your schedule.
soft. Stainmaster with Tac-Tess.
You deserve a carpet this soft. At Matthews Floor Fashions, experience the carpet that touches you back. Right now, get a free Puppy Soft mascot with your purchase of DuPont Stainmaster carpet with Tac-Tess fiber. Like Tac-Tess, he's soft as a puppy, tough as a bulldog, and great for naps.
Wildcats win it 3-2 over the Michigan State Spartans. Dave Danis, glad you could be with us for tonight. Huge win for the Wildcats in their CCHA home opener. Wildcats getting goals from Clayton Lanesbury, a pair, and also a shorthanded goal from Andy Contoys, and that Contoys goal was really the one that changed the flow of this game. State scored first, 6:48 into the first period. Colton Fretter on the power play from Goebel and Slater. That gave State a 1-0 lead, but the Cats answered right away. Clayton Lanesbury from Jamie Milam as Lanesbury picked up the rebound and put it by Vicari just 56 seconds after the Fretter goal. 7:44 was the time of that score, 1-1 after one period. In the second period, with the Cats killing a penalty, Andy Contoys picks up the puck, races into the State zone, picks a corner. He beats Vicari. 2-1 Cats after two periods. In the third, the Wildcats would get the first goal. Clayton Lanesbury unassisted at 3:37. State would come back, though. At 6:41, Estrada would score his first of the season, with Slater and Snavely assisting, and that made the score 3-2, and it was some tight play after that, and State had three good scoring opportunities in the final 6 seconds, with the Cats playing two men short because of a penalty against Rob Leighton, which negated an empty net goal, and a penalty against the Wildcat fans for throwing hundreds of shakers onto the ice and delaying the game. State got three scoring opportunities. They came right down off the initial faceoff, got a shot. Zanaboni held it. A second faceoff, they won that draw and got a shot. And a third faceoff in the zone, they got a shot away. And they were able to get the opportunities, but Bill Zanaboni, the freshman, the redshirt freshman from Plymouth, Massachusetts, comes up big. He's now 2-0 as a Wildcat. He gets the victory. Taking the loss in net for Michigan State was Dominic Vicari. Dominic on the year is 1-1-0. Shots on goal, the Wildcats 9 in the first, 11 in the second, 11 in the third for a total of 31. Michigan State 7, 11, and 10 for a total of 28. Goaltender saves, Zanaboni 6, 11, and 9, a total of 26. Vicari for Michigan State 8, 10, and 10 for a total of 28. Unofficially, the Wildcats 0 for 7 on the power play. Michigan State was 1 for 11 and allowed a shorthanded goal, so dead even. The Cats give up one and get one while killing penalties tonight. Michigan State unofficially 1 for 11 with a shorty allowed. Wildcats now 2-1 on the season. Michigan State falls to 1-2. We're going to take a commercial timeout. When we come back, more on the Pepsi postgame show. You're listening to Wildcat Hockey on Oldies 99.5 WNGE.